Good morning, Sassy fam. Welcome to your Sunday check-in. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Woke up this morning and I said, you know what? T-shirt, sweatpants, slippers, ponytail. And here we are. You let me know if you're experiencing the kind of T-shirt, sweatpant energy right now. It's very distinct. Let me tell you what I did last night. For a couple hours, I blissed out on the Bob Ross channel on YouTube. I highly recommend it. Contains all the original episodes of his works. It's very calming and soothing just for that aspect alone because it is very retro. But Bob's voice, beautifully. Bob was blessed with a magnificent voice for ASMR. So he's like the king of unintentional ASMR, like the father, if you will, of unintentional ASMR. So not only does he have that voice, but what he does in and of itself is ASMR. So we have the brush wisping across the canvas, right? And we have the happy little trees. And we have the happy little accidents. And the next thing you know, you will find yourself in a Bob Ross-induced coma. Because that's just the quality of the work. It's just so soothing. I check out. So first it starts out like meditation, calmness, decompress to... And then hours later, I wake up. What? Because that's where I'm at right now. I need a little more downtime. I need to decompress. And that's my body's way of talking to me because I'm not a big nap person. It's like I sleep when I sleep and then I'm awake when I'm awake. I'm taking naps. Oh, honey, that means I need it. So I'm listening to that. And then also there's just that sense of down energies right now. For instance, my daughter's wrapping up the school year. It'll be a matter of weeks before we're in summer break, but you wouldn't know it. This is end of year testing time. You would think, oh, it's the end of school year energy. Excited. No, they're being tested to the max. So she's been a bit of a grumpy Gus, but I understand. I'm not going to pretend I don't. And so have I, for that matter. The humidity's been so freaking high. Any day now, the rain. Any day now with the rain. Any day. Rain is yet to come. So that's been playing out in terms of absolute havoc on my breathing. So for those of you who do not know, I know many of you do, but for those of you who don't, I have allergen-induced asthma, largely aided and abetted by humidity. And sometimes, it can get really bad. I might have to stop and use my inhaler, but I don't want that to alarm you. Okay, it's normal for me. Just don't let that upset you. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal for what I experience. But yeah, I have my inhaler and I'm also having to work on water and herbal tea a little more today, so expect that as well. I'm on my vitamin regimen and being mindful of my water and all that stuff and resting more and just trying to take it easy because there's still a lot more to do, There's a lot more to do, but still, like I always advocate to you all, you have to know when to stop and take care of yourself. Because without you, everything else literally does not function. All right, you guys, what are we doing today? Today's reading, yours and theirs. We're doing the check-in for yours and theirs. Like always with yours and theirs, take what resonates, leave what does not, and reverse those energies as you see fit. More so with yours and theirs, as energy exchange and interchange is real, rapid, and fluid. Having said that, your person that I see on this board today, might be about a significant other, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, ex of 5 years ago, but may also include energies that relate to work, family, spiritual growth, development, and insight. That stuff. That's also pretty common. So I'll just say make space for it because there's a good chance it'll show up. But yeah, going back to the main point, take what resonates, leave what does not. And do keep in mind these are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, so they may not resonate at all, which I know is frustrating, but it's also normal. If that happens, check out the placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. Okay, you guys. Today's Sunday, right? Yeah. So as of tomorrow, the in-depth bonus reads will start rolling out for everybody. So once again, fire signs on Monday, air signs on Tuesday, earth signs on Wednesday, and then water signs on Thursday. And that in-depth will be for the Celtic cross. I will see you for your in-depth bonus reads next week, and I will see you at your sign today. Take care. Be well. Leo, welcome to your Sunday check-in. We're going to take a look at you and your person. Show me Leo and their person, please. What's going on for Leo? Alrighty. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, yeah? But as I explain the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. All right, for your side. Queen of Swords, Two of Wands, Knight of Cups, nice. Determination, focus, direction. The Magician, King of Swords, and the Six of Cups. Oh, shared. The Empress, Eight of Wands, the Devil. Well, Nine of Swords, yeah. I can see that sometimes you get caught up in your head, which is interesting. You have such a strong mind, but that works both ways, right? The stronger the mind, the greater the folly in terms of the anxiety and the stress. And it can all be fears of the mind. And to your credit, though, you kind of pride yourself on working through those things. I like clarity. I like knowing what I'm doing at the end of the day. Yeah. Sometimes the shadows of my mind can get a little out of proportion. But for the most part, you're saying, I try to concentrate and focus on the here and now. And so that's what you're showing me. Queen of Swords, Two of Wands, the Knight of Cups. So you're like, I'm focused. I figured it out. I've sorted it out. It's something that's been on your mind. And you kind of ran the gauntlet here of worst case scenarios. This could happen. That could happen. All the awful things. There's shadows and fears and oh my gosh. And that can be enough to overwhelm anybody and thwart their intention, thwart their actions, etc. That didn't happen for you. You sorted it out. Queen of Swords, Two of Wands, Knight of Cups. With some focus. You're like, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know exactly how I'm going to open up. My mind, my feeling. Communications here, Two of Wands. Right? It's a non-rushed type situation. Like I'm focused. I know what I'm going to say. And it looks good. It feels good. All right? Over here, the Magician. King of Swords, Six of Cups. When it comes to your two's connection, this person wants their thoughts and feelings in order as well. In fact, they've been pulling that in from the universe. When it comes to our connection, I want my thoughts in order with Leo and with me and what's going on there. And it's Six of Cups. So like I recognize our unique connection. Always have, always will. And as the Six of Cups, this soul bond type thing, even if you don't believe in that, that's kind of like saying, I've known them forever. And we have that unique flow. Okay, it's established over time. And then what you have is sweetness or the fondness of the memory and the emotional development and so on and so forth, And they recognize that. They're saying, yeah, I want my thoughts in order too when it comes to this connection. I want to know what I'm doing too. And they've been willing it in their own way. Okay? Empress, Eight of Wands, the Devil. Oh my gosh, someone's so afraid of their words. The Devil, Eight of Wands, again, that's what you call a manageable devil from a tarot reader's perspective. I see manageable devils all the time. We all have them. You say you don't have a devil, that's your devil. Okay? So some are more manageable than others, and it's better the ones you know. And this is a known devil, where someone's afraid of their words. To express themselves, to be so honest and bold. To stay on topic, to not get distracted, to not let their fears speak for them, such as what you showed me with the Nine of Swords. It's either one or the both of you. You both have a tendency to play into a pattern of inconsistent communication, not entirely truthful communication, or frankly, we're just kind of hiding our intentionality. And that can include the emotional self. This is what I really feel and think. And therefore, intentionality. So there's what we intend with our communication is what actually happens because of our words. I went in there meaning to say this, and this is what actually came out, and now this is the result of that. And you two have a little pattern here, I think, of miscommunicating with each other, because at least one person at some point kind of gives into an internal pressure. Don't actually say what you're thinking. Don't actually say what you're feeling. That would be horrible. Why would you do that? But you know what's interesting? Is the Empress is here between you two. You both care about each other. You have some very strong empowerment prospects to both of you. Nurturing prospects to both of you. Sense of legacy. Love, care, tenderness. If I thrive, others thrive. And then it's given back to me. I love seeing people grow and prosper. I just want to feel loved and secure. Here's the best of myself. That kind of thing. And we want to convey that. We want to convey that really, really bad. So, I don't know. You seem focused. Like, right, I got my thoughts in order. I know what I'm going to say. I know what I'm going to feel. They're like over here, samesies. So when it actually is time to drop those words, the both of you, I mean, you can only control your side, right, of the language. You can only control your side of the words. But say what you mean to say. Stay on course with it. Don't allow it to deviate, and try not to default to old patterns between yourself and this person, where perhaps in the past, the less than the best of you was acknowledged or conveyed in some way. Okay? Try not to give in to that, because it's very tempting for one of both of you to be like, I just got to hide behind my words a little bit. Just a little bit. I know what I was going to say, but this I hope this works. I substituted like 45% of my sentence with something else altogether. That should work. No, not all substitutes take. Trust me. As someone who likes to experiment with baking, my latest burn mark. If you enjoy baking as a hobby or as a profession, it doesn't matter. You're going to get some of these. This is my latest one. Anyway, sometimes substitutes work, sometimes they don't. And in this case, substitute language isn't going to work. It's just not. It's not. All right. And you know, and if you feel like you're being as honest as you can be, and you think that they're hesitating and not giving it the full weight of their thoughts or feeling, then say that. It's like, I think that there's more to this than what you're saying. Can you share that with me? Would you feel comfortable with that? Or is that what you're really thinking or really feeling? I just, you know, because I want, look at that. This is why. Let's get that nasty little guy out of you. Okay. This is why. Okay. Right here. That's beautiful. Very similar. Thoughts, appreciation, respect for the past, present day emotionality, wanting to say the right thing, wanting to express the right thing, and keep it in the moment too. The both of you. It's beautiful. And they whipped out their magician. That's like, I want to keep my thoughts clear on this. You know? I respect this connection. You're like, I sorted my thoughts. So, I know you two mean well towards each other. I do. So let's there it is, right there on the split too, the 8 of Wands. So we call that soon. Call that soon then. So we're gonna have to kind of, while remaining authentic and open, challenge ourselves to not substitute our words, their meanings or significance. Right? No. Let's get some advice, please. Someone don't trust their words. I don't want to be taken the wrong way. That's why we got to be honest, not use substitution words, you know? Four of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Three of Wands. Oh, so even though you two are at a distance, clearly, if not physical distance, then spiritual, mental distance. We haven't talked to this in a while. The both of you been holding on or holding back and holding out in a way towards each other. Yeah, so it's been a minute. So we've had a lot of time to gain a long-term perspective about what ails this connection. And a big part of it's communication. You know? Or was holding back or allowing the worst of our thoughts to take over the conversation, and something comes out we didn't mean to say. You both have good reason then to sort through that. Had good reason to sort through that. But yeah, you both have been waiting and holding on. It's not an accusation, don't take it as one. It's just sometimes two people end up on distant shores, even if they're right down the street from each other. Like I say all the time, don't wait for something unless you know there's something to wait for. I don't know that you two were necessarily convinced there was anything to wait for. It's just kind of like I went over here and they went over there, and But I admit I've been holding on in my own way, and I guess they have to, yeah. You know. Nine of Wands, Four of Swords, Justice. We've had a lot of time to think about the blockage here. Once upon a time, we were very frustrated with it, angry, Nine of Wands. But then we calmed down, Four of Swords, and looked at it from the perspective of, okay, in that space between us, in that time, what can I say I have learned about blockage, frustration, my own particular words and their conveyance? When and where and how did I hold back the truth or hold punches, stuff like that? And we've found a lot of space for balance. It's like, this makes so much sense now. Instead of just assuming block, it's always going to stay block, I'm always going to be angry with this and unresolved. That's not true. We approached it differently. Four Swords, Justice. We have a much stronger sense of self now and what the heck's going on. Good job. Good job to you, good job to them, because again, they've been pulling from that same space. You might be surprised to find that out for yourself when those words come on through, and that looking once more like an eventuality. And that should not feel like a threat. If you two have done the job I think you have, you feel the initial tension, the initial temptation to default to old communication patterns. We're going to have to resist that. Okay? I have to resist it. I typically, what's a common, that way I can take it out of the vague box. What happens a lot, and let's just say love connections where someone's afraid to use their words, right there, how appropriate on the split with the lovers as the tulips. And instead of, saying, I love you, it's, I like you so much. Oh, it's different. It seemed like a careful substitute at the time. Like, they'll get it. They'll get it. No, they didn't get it. They heard I like you. Or I care about you. That's a big substitute too. And that's what can couple a lot of love languages. When somebody just pulls it back because they're afraid. Another thing, fear language, instead of someone just being like, you know what, I don't think I can fully give myself to this, they'll say something like, I need to go find myself. Say what you mean to say. Don't do the vague thing. Be clear. Toil and labor, number 38. One or both of you works very, very hard, yes. There's the expectation. We expect this to be difficult, perhaps not. We expect to have to work hard in order to communicate to this, perhaps not. But there's an expectation that this will require a certain level of intensity or labor or work. Well, again, if it defaults back to this, then yes, it will. We'll always be struggling and working very hard to make a point that's never really being made, okay? Or to receive someone else's point that they're not clearly making either. So no, it doesn't have to be that hard. As I say, don't feed the pattern. Okay, number 29. Female in reverse. That's interesting. That's interesting. So here we have the desirability of a single female, kind of well-to-do. Romantic, ripe for love, that kind of thing. Someone who looks... Someone here thinks the other person doesn't look anymore, or they told themselves to stop looking. 29, don't expect anything from them, or they're in that position of don't expect anything from you. They try not to look towards you anymore. Oh. Maybe they don't physically, but you two are still connected emotionally, spiritually. You're both holding on. Even if not the physical readiness isn't available to you. One or the both of you. But 29, 38, 28. Or perhaps whoever's looking at this, simply you're not the female. I don't know. We have the letters W, E, D, I. We have the owl in the upright, wisdom, insight. You've both shown me that. King, Queen of Swords. You share that in common, that sense of I'm focused. I know my mind. I know what it is I'm trying to say. Okay. And then we have the butterfly, sign of transformation, time to transform. Things have changed, maybe, you know. Okay, Leo, honey, I hope that helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Sag. What's up? What's going on? Show me Sagittarius and their person, please. What's going on for Saggy? What's going on? Show me Sagittarius and their person. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but explaining the intro, the first energies, as you see fit. What's up? Six of Wands, Four Swords, Two of Swords, Knight of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Shared, King of Wands, Knight of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. Okay. King of Swords, overview, focus, insight. You're trying to gain clarity. There's something here you initially felt victorious about, and now you're like, I don't know. I thought I felt good about this. Triumphant, victorious, but now I don't know. Four of Swords, Two of Swords. There's a sense of I won, but did I? Four of Swords, Two of Swords. So I see you going within, quieting and saying, what's going on? Because there's a sense of victory here. I made my point, acknowledgement, or I won. In some way I won. But then Four Swords, Two of Swords. Did I though? Because now I'm not so certain. But you're looking at it. You are literally looking at it. To your credit, you're looking at it. King of Swords, that's an active knowledge base. That's good. And the Four Swords, a sense of quiet, reflection, healing, and insight. It's like, I won, but did I? And what does that mean? Over here, Knight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, the Hermit. Someone in a connection with you is showing indications or signs of life that they want to do what it takes to be friends with you, if nothing else. But it's coming from a space of wisdom in the Hermit, knowing that they can. This is something that they've arrived to a particular conclusion of. So it's, I know I can. I'm the Hermit here. I've walked this path. I know what I can do. I can work things out with Sag. I can wave that white flag. I don't know, I can build that bridge with Sag. I know I can. And they're actually showing me confidence, but from a space of knowing themselves with the Hermit. It's like, I know I can do this. Knight of Swords, Three of Pentacles. I can give something to this. I can cooperate. I can be a friend. This is based on experience. Over here, King of Wands, Knight of Cups, Nine of Wands. There's more to this story. There's actually some strong feeling behind all this. There's some passion here. There's some love. And Nine of Wands, at least one person here resists the flow of that. It's almost like I feel things very powerfully, but I'm very uncomfortable with vulnerability. Because the Knight of Cups is vulnerable. King of Wands is pretty straightforward, passionate, fiery, creative, ambitious. I'm sure you both share those qualities in your own way. And the Knight of Cups, there's a particular flow between you, but one person, Nine of Wands, is saying it's so hard to be vulnerable. It is so hard to open up. It is so hard to be soft and expressive. It's like showing the fire side, peacocking, or a little bit of passion. That's easy. But when it comes to expressing the softness, it's like, man, it kills me. It's so hard. I want that Knight of Cups to be natural. I want that to be natural for anybody who experiences it. This is what I would say from my heart. In ways that are big and small, you know? It's just, is it sincere? Is it sincerely felt and therefore sincerely expressed? And that's all that matters. Sometimes it's as small as I can't stop thinking about you. To a simple gesture. Such as, you know. You ever seen that gesture where somebody just moves a strand of hair out of someone's face or their eye? Just like that. It's very sweet. That's it. It's just a soft little tender moment. But it was a reason, an excuse to make contact with somebody and see their face better. See what I'm saying? It's almost like, that's so hard. Yeah. Let's get some advice. I can see where this person is willing to extend their friendship and mean it. If that's all that can be had from this situation. They authentically mean it. Okay, that's cool. You, though. I understand you had some sort of initial sense of victory with this. Like you made your point, or you were seen, or mission accomplished, or a sense that you won. But did you express yourself the way you wanted? Ten of Wands, the Tower, the Chariot. Oh. We had a sense of victory here, that something blew up. Oh, I don't have to deal with it anymore. I'm free. Huzzah. You know, there's a sense of, is that where the triumph is coming from? Something kind of blew up and I don't have to deal with it anymore. You know? It's not my responsibility. It's not my heaviness. It's just not mine. I can move forward now, the Chariot, and move past this, but it's not my burden to bear anymore. Okay. The Four of Cups, the Devil, the High Priestess. But what really happened is that we became increasingly unhappy, and we got stuck in that feeling. In some way we recognize it as being there and that it's prevalent. But it takes us to a place of sadness that's really hard for us to understand. Especially since we had that moment of, oh, this is over, it's done. I don't have to deal with this anymore. I can just set it away. It's done. I can just move on with my life. And in that kind of energy, a fallacy was created. Well, it's like, if I'm so free, then why do I feel so bad? Four of Cups, the Devil, the High Priestess. Ace of Cups. You know, whatever this is, love was involved. It was some sort of an emotional relationship. Okay? That's not bad. That's not a bad thing. Of course not. But if we were not in a space where we could fully open towards it, we were attracted to it, we wanted to be soft with it, we struggled with how. Perhaps we didn't understand if they were a complete and full receptor either. All right? It might be like, oh, I don't have to deal with that anymore. It's done then. It's done. I was victorious in the end. I won in the end. Because it somehow, the burden, all that just kind of dropped, and then you probably felt really free there for a second. Say, I can just move on. No fuss, no muss. That tidied itself up really well. And then after that, kind of a post-feeling, post-clarity. Four Cups, the Devil, the High Priestess. was then how come I feel so bad? There was a real feeling in this. What you'll do, I don't know. Tarot represents choice, not the absence of it. I say what kind of sits in you now. And I'm sorry that it's there. If it helps you, there was real feeling in here. And like I said, one of the both of you struggled to intimate to each other that authentic feeling. And so when it exited, it felt like a huge relief. Now the pressure's off. I don't have to say nothing no more. I don't have to express myself like that. See, it's not mine, but somehow that just made it worse. Right? That's because this is the truth. This was the truth. That pressure, oh thank goodness, that's out of my life now. That meant the opportunity was taken from us to express our truth. So what happens? That truth just kind of sits there. You know, becomes stagnant. I can see what this person's willing to do. They are willing to extend some sort of bridge towards you that is thoughtful, is polite, okay? And it does function as friendship. They've given a lot of thought to that. But if that's something that does not sit well with you, then it doesn't sit well with you. You don't have to do anything. I can just see what they're willing to do. And I hope you get to that space where, in your healing right here, you understand what it is you need to understand and feel what it is that you need to feel. Okay? Because you don't have to do anything with this. You can learn to let it go. One of the things that will help you is to acknowledge the feeling. Okay? Your side, their side, or what was expressed between you two in some way. And that way you can begin to make peace with it for yourself. Okay? That's all. Yours, a bit trickier. Just a bit. I'd like to have spent more time with it. I would have. Home. 4. Comfort. Main man. There's a sense of comfort, of care, home. Providership, King of Pentacles energy, head of households, responsibilities. Good, again, sense of accountability, stability, resourcefulness. Ah, the love note, lovers, tulips. Expression of one's care, comfort, but tenderness with the tulips. 9, 4, 1. It's good energies there. But it seems to be that there is a moment of softness. And the expression, sincerely, of one's comfort and care, well-being, coming from a space of authority. I don't always use these, they're not my favorite. I call these the shoulda, coulda, wouldas deck. But sometimes it's helpful. Yeah. Please take care of yourself. As I said, there is, it seems, an outward expression here of what looks like the softness, the tenderness, the tulips, lovers. And that sense of comfort, care, please take care of yourself. Authentically meant from somebody. It's coming from somewhere. Okay? Please take care of yourself. Okay. We have B, G, D, Z, 2 B's. D, Z, B, B, S, G. And then we have the dragon in reverse. It's not a control thing. It's not an empowerment thing. It's not about breathing fire, having one's way. It's not like that. The dragon's not on defense here. That's okay. Doesn't always need to be. It's the softness here. Okay. Saggy, honey, I hope this helped you. Like I said, I wish I had more time to spend with it. I do. Especially when I see things like the Four of Cups and the Devil. But at the end of the day, I hope this helped you. There's going to be a backstory to these things. There always is. Always. I know that there's a story. There's a history. There always is. My thing is, okay, what are we learning about it in present day? So you would know your story best. What led up to it? And why there was an initial sense of, oh, it's over. The pressure to express, the pressure to perform, the pressure to be is over. I can move on from this now. And then why did it all turn to something else? Okay? I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aries, welcome to your Sunday check-in. What's going on, please? Show me Aries and their person. Show me Aries and their person. What's going on? Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, yeah, as I explain the intro, reverse energies, as you see fit. What's going on for Aries? Queen of Wands. Devil. Five of Wands. Ooh! I'll get back to that. Seven of Pentacles. The World. Page of Wands. Okay. Page of Cups. The Empress and the King of Cups. Temperance is in your ovary. Oh, good. Oh, good. Good. Because as I say, honey, yeah, you 7 layers of pissed off. Like, I just, like, I was so angry. And I'm not trying to laugh at you, not at all. It's just the energy's got really tense in there. So, yeah, several layers. I call it the 7 layers, because 7 layers of hell, so 7 layers of pissed off. So, temperance is in the overview. Yes, yes. Let's bring it down. Bring it down. Okay, bring it down. Yes, and that's what you're trying to do right now. Soothe. Soothe. Patience, compassion, healing. So much healing right now. And Queen of Wands, Devil, 5 Wands. Oh, what a firecracker. You can burn, though. You're going to burn somebody. You're going to burn yourself. So that is frustration. That is anger, honey. That's a strong reaction. Who pissed you off? I don't want to know. Point is like, by the way, you might have a phenomenal amount of fire in your chart, other than Aries. I mean, you might be double, triple, quad fire in the general sense, and Capricorn. Not really the point. It's there. It's there. But man, we are angry. We are pissed off. We are frustrated, upset. But you're like, I'm working through it. Give me credit. I am giving you credit. Okay. Oh boy. 7 of Pentacles for this person. The World, Page of Wands. Someone withdrew, cycled out their time, energy, attention, efforts in a pathway that was very, very familiar to you, or bare minimum to them, but in some way you know about it. And they're like, I'm open to other things, but not this. I'm just closing it out. I don't know what their reasoning is. Perhaps they will show me unadvised. But 7 of Pentacles, the World, Page of Wands, it's like they closed out a pathway or a world without consulting you. They just did it. And it's like, well, this is what I wanted to do, or this was in my best interest. What do you think? Page of Wands. I can do something else. So it could be that someone just kind of radically left a pathway, a work, a position, something that they were endeavoring towards. And it may not have been the most thrilling, I grant you, with the 7 of Pentacles. Perhaps it was stagnant from their point of view, that they could do better, or frankly just be open to other things. But it's like they didn't run any of that by you. I don't think. It looks like they made a decision unto themselves. I don't think they consulted you, and it pissed you off. Somebody completely withdrew, stopped something, and it had roots. They weren't the fastest growing. It may not have been the most fruitful. Trust me, I'm not the biggest fan of the 7 of Pentacles. But when you are tied to someone, you kind of owe it to the connection to be like, oh, I'm thinking about leaving XYZ. You had any thoughts on that? Yeah, I kind of have some thoughts on that. That's like 70% of the income, 50% of the income. It's sizable. It will be noticed. It will be missed. Think we can tough it out a couple more months until we're better prepared for that? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's interesting because they showed me at page 1. So like, see, I can open up to other things, no big deal. It's kind of a big deal though. Aries is going, it's kind of a big deal. Or let's say it's not even that. Let's say, oh, I just spent 50% of the savings without running that by you. What? What? Sorry. This year's not doing so good these days. You did what now? Do you see what I'm saying? I grant you the situation's unusual, but it was done in such a closed circuit way. And I always advocate you do what's in your best interest, but it's also like, that might have been the best interest, Christina, but they should have run it by me first. And I don't disagree with you. So you whipped out temperance here. I need patience right now. I need patience. I'm trying to understand. Because your initial reaction is you're mad. You are very mad. I understand. Page of Cups, the Empress, King Cups. You know what's funny is that between the two of you, there's a wealth of love. It's not always easy to feel it sometimes, that Page of Cups, but you feel a lot more comfortable in a nurturing, loving role. You're used to that being given back to you. So this situation got you tapped into your fires really fast. And I don't blame you, because otherwise you're someone who likes to be very calm, very loving, emotionally generous, emotionally present, very nurturing. And you got a big heart here, and you're used to it being returned to you. We're used to kind of open sharing from the heart. That's what you're used to. It's one of the things that's allowed you to thrive. The Empress needs to thrive. Their love, care, and support, and then what she gives is endless. Okay. So let's get some advice. So I'm glad to see this. That gives me some reassurance, though, to kind of show me how temporary but strong, yes, very strong, but nevertheless temporary, this energy influx is for you. Because right now it's hitting a very high note. But if this is your two's background, okay, whew, we got something to work with here. Other than just a pentacle structure, which is good. Because if you two are disconnected for the pentacles, there'd be a big old issue. So there is love. It looks like good, strong love too. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please. Temperance, the Magician, and the Nine of Wands. See, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. Look at that, Temperance twice. I'm I am doing my best to not be angry right now. Because you have to see it. I don't know if you can see it, but from my point of view, you're like, I'm doing my best to stop myself from summoning a can of whoop ass on this situation. Do you see that? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it though? Do you see it? I would expect something like this from you. Yeah. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, Temperance. I'm not going to do it. So I do see you healing yourself to this situation. However, if it is such a partnership where feelings are allowed to thrive, and more often than not you feel emotionally safe, secure, and nurtured in this, you know you should also safely be able to convey your very strong, if not radical, feelings of anger, frustration, disappointment. It would make sense then that you were feeling out worst case scenarios and you're reacting to them. I don't blame you. I want you to make that part of your feedback. Do you have any idea how this is affecting me? Do you have any idea what's in my head right now? Do you have any idea what I'm thinking? Did you think about this? Did you think about that? And guess what? If you didn't, I'm glad to present these thoughts to you. Somebody has to think of this stuff. And you see why I'm angry? Do you see why I'm frustrated? So that's part of temperance too. It's not just you cooling off. It's understanding and making sure that this person understands, as your so-called partner, what the heck actually happened. Like the consequences to one's actions. You did not include me in a fairly large decision. That was a no-no. And I'm doing my absolute best to not summon forward blockage. Blockage, like I said, it can whoop ass. That's what it looks like to me. So we're doing our level, but you are just, I am so proud of you. You're like, thanks. I told myself I'd start clearing up my record. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. And I say that from a good place. I know some Aries, trust me. No, it's yeah. I mean, that's amazing given the situation. Given the situation, I think that's pretty incredible. Okay. What can we do here, please? Other than that, you talk and express all this. That's part of temperance. Yeah, the World, 9 of Swords, and the 5 of Wands. Okay. 9 of Swords and the 5 of Wands cycled out. Excuse me. Okay, from their point of view, they have grievances about that pentacle path. Like I said, very rarely do we just stop something like that unless we had good reason to. But it's one thing when we do this kind of thing when we're on our own and we have no one we're connected to or no one to answer to. Okay, fine. We're grown-ups. That's the idea anyway. It's like if I want to quit a job without notice, okay, that's on me. I'm on my own, right? But they weren't on their own. However, from their point of view, they have some very strong concerns about why they cycled this out. 9 of Swords, 5 of Wands. There was some sort of unending grievance in that pathway. 7 of Pentacles that left them stressed out phenomenally every day, and it also required constant arguing. Bickering back and forth, it got to the point that it was unbearable or unsustainable nonetheless. No, you know what I'm starting to think, Aries? This person quit in the moment. At that very moment when things got stressful for them, in that moment, they got overwhelmed by it, and they said, that's it. This ends today. I'm shutting it down today. So that tells me this is not a one-off incident. It had been building up in this direction, and they acted, and what they understood was their best interest at that moment. But it did not include you. It's like, hey, you could have taken 5 minutes to call me before you did that. I don't know. But there's something here about here's the reason why the world happened. It got tense in there for them, and it probably had been for some time. That's a lot of bickering. And it was exacerbated often. I understand that was a very difficult 7 of Pentacles, and from their point of view, it wasn't going to get any better. Okay. Still, should have consulted you. I don't disagree with that. And I think that's one of the reasons why you're showing me such a strong restraint from your anger. Is because you understand in some way this cycle or this pathway that they are on was breaking them in some way. Okay. Still, you two both need to talk, take space. Because I know it had to do with something happened, man. I'm telling you, something went down at work, but it had been leading up to, like I said, this wasn't a one-off. Something happened. And number 34, occupation. You're both working, aren't you? This is something you personally would never do, but this is who they are. This is what they did in that moment. No, it wasn't a plan. I think they reacted strongly to something in that moment that had been building up. Because otherwise, you two are like this. You two have each other's hearts, full emotional attention, emotional nurturing. That's what's expected between you two. Something went down, man. 34. I know you work hard. I guess we can go ahead and take a look at these. I don't know. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. Oh, perhaps we didn't understand what they... It's like, oh, everybody's got problems at work. Oh, everybody's got those one or two coworkers. Oh, everyone's got a boss like that. As I didn't believe you and how bad it was or how difficult it was. Yeah, okay. That's the kind of thing we can get numb to, especially it's like, I got a job to do, so do you. We really don't have the luxury to just stop our roles right now and look for something new. And for a lot of people, that's true. But in that moment, they couldn't take anymore. Perhaps then we did not understand how bad it was. Okay. So that would explain your double down on temperance. So while this situation pissed you off, you're also like, I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to understand. Okay. We have the letters B, in. We have the yin and yang. Otherwise, you two are quite harmonious. Quite harmonious. I know. That was a beautiful background that you two share. Yeah, the infinity loop. I know. You two try to feed each other appropriately. You know? What I give to you, you give to me. So there can be a healthy feedback loop and there can be a toxic one. Your person was in a toxic feedback loop in regards to work and occupation. So they decided radically in that moment to cut it. And you're like, well, what the hell? Okay. Otherwise, you two, like I said, flow back and forth very well. You complement each other. Aries, honey, I hope this gave you a little more insight. This one's very, very specific today, but I'm glad I got to see it. I'm glad I got to read it. Let me know if it helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aquarius, welcome to your Sunday check-in. What's up? Aquarius, show me Aquarius in the person. What's going on for Aquarius, please? All right, starting with your side, but as I explained in the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. Queen of Swords, Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Oh, okay. Yeah, Page of Swords, the Star. Queen of Cups. Huh. Okay. Nine of Wands, Four of Wands, and Death. I know. I know. I see that. Overview, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, take your time, no rush. You know that. You should know that, right? Queen of Swords, you know. You're saying I'm a pretty smart cookie. Knight of Pentacles, you're like, I'm going in this particular direction at my own speed. I shall not be rushed. And again, nor should you. Queen of Swords, Ten of Swords, you're processing and have most likely been processing with the Knights of Pentacles something that represents a painful ending. I don't always see an ending necessarily with the Ten of Swords. It usually means a lot of pain. However, if you are that person who's been processing it, you can probably effectively see it as an ending that was painful, but you can look at it. You can look at it, you can work with it, you understand your feelings around it, you understand what happened, you've been healing. And I am saying what looks like the ending of the relationship here is death is there. It's apparent, so it is backing up the Ten of Swords in that respect. And then in a turnaround, it's kind of like Ace of Cups. So taking your time, processing that ending, learning from it, it's like you want to prepare your heart for the readiness or possibility one day of new. I'm not saying it's a quick turnaround, not at all. But you're saying that's the idea for you. And that's something that you are working through and working towards. Okay, so you have an end goal in mind of a full heart, a ready heart, a repaired heart, all that stuff, okay? Over here, Page of Swords to Star. You know, it's hard to see stuff like that. There's your power card right there, dead center, the Star. So, as a tarot reader, there's a couple things you should always pay attention to. Your opening card, your middle placement, outcome, that kind of thing, overview. Page of Swords, the Star. Yeah, they look at you. I don't think it's threatening, no. It's this little guy, Page of Swords. The reason why the Page of Swords is associated with spying or observation is because the Page of Swords feels like it doesn't have enough to work with to have any thoughts, never mind actions. So it kind of remains quiet, silent, and observant. But no, it doesn't look threatening. But no, they keep what I call a little eye on you, but it's in a big way. They see you. You know, they see you. Very much so. And their heart swells to the Queen of Cups. You know, they're saying they would love to be open to you. But the energy remains small. They look at you and they have very strong feelings. But apparently not enough to act on them, or, you know. So perhaps then they accept the ending as being a final thing. But when they look at you, they feel soft and they would like to expand their heart towards you. But what they do, if ever, I don't know. Page of Swords, like I said, is a little guy. But for now, it stands as being over. 9 of Wands, 4 of Wands, Death. Whatever this relationship is, once more, relationship, 4 of Wands, is how two people define it, therefore build into it, therefore label it. I don't know what this was. I don't know if it was marriage. I don't know if it was boyfriend, girlfriend. I have no clue. The only thing that you have identified and they have identified is that it was very difficult. 9 of Wands. There was always something about this relationship that remained blocked, or in that sense, it could not progress. So I don't know how far it went, but the biggest angst was the inability to build into it. You both recognized it, but the frustration was born is that neither one of you could really build into it, take it seriously. It just remained in a perpetual state of something's here, but not really. And that's frustrating. That's very frustrating. You don't need too much time with that to understand how frustrating that is. But that relationship became associated with weight and heaviness instead of goodness, lightness, and investment. And death. This was a non-transformative thing. It wouldn't change. This feels like whatever this is was always prohibited in some way. Not enough was put into it, just at initial glance, to sustain it. But it's frustrating because two people recognize it as being something interesting or significant. And that's where it kind of stops. Anyway, it's hard. It's hard, and I don't mean that to be or sound offhanded. It's frustrating because there's literally nothing I can do. Maybe they'll show me some stuff on advice, but it's hard. You acknowledge the ending, the pain of it specifically. From your eyes, it probably feels and looks futile now. But you said you learned a lot. And you did. You learned a lot. It's almost like, I don't know if learning a lot was worth the pain, but nevertheless, I have to work with it. I have to deal with it. You know, if I want love to be my future one day, I got to prepare myself for it. So that means, thusly, I have to work through that ending. And that's very logical, and you're very correct. That's very rational. But I don't know why they're stuck there looking at you. Page of Swords, the Star, Queen of Cups. That makes me sad. You know, their heart swells at the sight of you. All right. They see you as achieving your dreams, by the way, which is beautiful. And they're happy for you in that respect, and that's lovely. Okay. And the Star, 10 of Cups, as I just said. That's where you are. And they see this. They see that you're happy. That's you twice. The Star, 10 of Cups. Look at you go, honey. Look at you expand. Look at you achieve your goals in love and in life. As I said that, they see you achieving your goals and they admire you for it. They're happy for you. They perceive you as being content. They see you harmonizing. They see your emotional expansion. So I know that they definitely keep, I guess, more than a little loose eye on you. but they have such a strong impression of where you are today and that you're happy. Eight of Wands, there may be some communication. It's times like this when I get really, really nervous about people when they resonate. If it's a good thing, I want you to resonate positively. And but if you want nothing to do with this, I don't want you to be afraid of it either. You get to choose. The Aquarius I'm looking at, you are mentally prepared to move yourself forward on with your goals. You've conveyed that very well. You've been processing. This has been a lengthy process for you, but for someone this hits like bricks, like it was yesterday. The sense of ache is still fresh with this person. You've been working through it. So the Eight of Wands, I'm just not one of those. I can't do it. I can't be one of these people. It's like, oh, they're going to regret everything and say they're sorry and offer you $10 million while they're at it. I don't do that crap. But I will call it the way I see it. I told you I didn't know what was going to... That's a lot of energy they have for you. A lot of feeling that they have for you. Desire and hope. They have a very strong idea of what you're doing today based on that eye. But that doesn't mean they're going to do anything. Okay? But at some point, something's done. With the Eight of Wands, it's communication. I see it heading directly towards you. So you get to choose. You get to choose. I don't know if you're going to interact with it. That's up to you, honey. Tarot's the proof of choice, not the absence of it. But understand this. If this is your focus, then someone can either meet this criteria or they can't. Ten of Cups is an assignment. This is family, friends. It's designation of love and support. Someone can either step into that role or that assignment and harmonize with you in the greater scheme of things, or they can't. So I don't care how you would call it. An intimate connection, a friendship, a family member. It either fits or don't. That's it. You can either feel good about what you're getting from this and giving to it, or you don't. Okay? So I don't know. I just know for some of you, communication's coming through. But, you know, hold on. Anything else, please? Six of Pentacles, the balance. Something's either balanced or it isn't. Real world balance or not. Okay? That's the proposal. And, yeah, I get that. I was told to look down. I did. The Lovers. Okay. Yeah. So, again, something can either be balanced in communication and 3D realistic efforts, or it can't. But that seems to be the proposal. So, you know, in a way, though, I'm kind of glad for it, because I tell it to people all the time, full stop, speak up for yourself. That's all any of us can do. Sometimes our words and actions, our intentions are rejected. There's nothing we can do about that, but we can represent ourselves to the best of our abilities. Therefore, we can be taken seriously. If not by someone else, then by the universe. That way, our sense of manifestation, dreams, and whatever will come through for us more often than not, because we're being as honest as we can be. So in some way, this person's high sense of desirability and emotional attachment to you, it has nowhere to go. And in some way, in understanding that, they're conveying this simply through an Eight of Wands with a proposal of Six of Pentacles structure. So they are, at some point, exercising an ability to speak up for themselves after previously having not. So good for them, long story short. But that doesn't mean you're obligated to take them up on it. But if I'm being honest with you, though, once more, simple rule about tarot, I see what's here, not what isn't. This can only happen if it's a possibility in balance. And that's between you two and what you two understand balance to be. Okay? Okay. It's a wonder I get shorts out. It's a wonder I get shorts out. Okay? All this stuff I just gave you with the caution and the you know, because I see reconnection happen all the time with shorts. It's just very energetic, quick. It flies through like that. I'm not able to give them all the, okay, this and that, and, you know, Article 23, subsection B. I can't do all that. So I'm glad I was able to do that for you. The harshness, the bullwhip. Now, where's that coming from? Harshness. The bullwhip. That's 11. All the lovers. Oh. Yeah, I had that feeling. Yeah, strong connection. Ow, harshness. Someone's beating themselves up. Maybe being very hard on themselves. Or someone feels like the other person treated them very harshly. 15, 11. Or the bullwhip. In fairness, we are in Taurus season. But wishing well. Oh, 41. We did not wish for this. It's not what we wanted. It's not what we wished for. Oh, we've been beating ourselves up. This is not what I wanted. Okay. 41, 11, and 15. I'm not going to lie. That one always catches my attention a little bit. It's not my fault. It's the energy. Okay. V, U, and then, oh, good. Well, the mask is off in reverse. That's good. The authentic self, the mask is off. Okay, that's lovely. Aquarius, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well. Gemini, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's up for Gemini? What's going on for Gemini, please? What's going on for Gemini? All right, like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, yeah? But as I explained that intro, reverse energies as you see fit. Page of Wands, Eight of Swords. That's with the devil. Sick of seeing it. Man, keeps popping up. All right, we'll get to it. Strength. Three of Swords. A lot of people's fears are being provoked right now. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Strength, Three of Swords, Three of Cups. Oh, yeah. Really? Ace of Cups. The Hierophant. The Ten of Pentacles. Oh, yeah. Overview, Ten of Wands. No, I get it. I understand it. It's been weighing on you. I see it. Oh, and you're tired, though. Aren't you tired, though, of that feeling of the weight? The heaviness, the weight, the weight, the weight. You're like, yeah. Actually, we talk about something else, because that's where it's been for you. The energy is so heavy. Page of, it's hard to be open, even in the smallest of ways, when you've got something perpetually on your mind and you have no new answers. So Ace of Swords, the devil. So that's rumination here. It's to the point of shutdown and procrastination. It's not an accusation. Don't take it as one. You either understand that, you can either relate to that, or you don't. Have you ever got stuck in something so bad? It's like you feel like you could not accomplish anything else. That's what I'm talking about. But it doesn't stop, does it? Real life doesn't stop just because we're stuck. Real life doesn't make any less demands on us just because we're stuck. You know what? Oh, you're not open to stuff? You keep putting things off? Oh, that's not our problem. We still expect results from you, Gemini. So I see that things have been difficult for you, very, and you're having to go about your core responsibilities, but it's like you've been carrying a load of bricks too. Most of them are in your head. Eight of Swords, the devil. Something's on your mind. It's like, I don't dare speak it. I don't dare speak it. I don't dare make progress in it. I don't get anywhere near it. I don't want to get anywhere near it. That's a bomb waiting to go off, and I'm not trying to deal with that. I know, and it also amounts to, you know, really intense delays everywhere. Having new insights, any sort of good feelings, progress in anything that might be important to you, you can't see any of it. You're stuck on something hard, and I want to get you unstuck. Okay, that's a heck of a trained devil. Your mind has been trained to shut a particular thought down repeatedly, but now it's gotten to the point where it's added up. You're paying the interest hard on this. And I imagine that that procrastination is playing out in other areas of your life. Okay. I want us to work through this. Strength, 3 swords, 3 cups. That's interesting. I would love to get some advice and maybe see how this person is using strength. They may not know. There's times when spiritually with a sense of fierceness, that despite the pain, they would love to connect with you. No matter what went down. Like, I don't care. I would connect with you. Hard. Strength of will. I want to. I can conceive of a world where I connect to you, and I mean it, and I stand up for this. And there's also a world they can imagine in where they push you away and keep you away. 3 swords, 3 cups. So I would love to know. I do know that this person's heart hurts a great deal when it comes to you or your two's connection. Okay, that's heartbreak. But they have a strength of will that's quite phenomenal over such a difficult subject. It's just, I would love to know how they use it. I could push you away with the strength of 10 men or draw you close to me with the same strength. Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, 10 of Pentacles. You know what's interesting? You both prize stability. You are both committed to this concept of something greater. You are both committed to this idea of constructive effort, participation, giving, being a presence, being an influence too. Like, this is something you both abide by. I think you two have completely different operating methods, but your core principles are the same. What you do on the outside probably doesn't match, but who you are as people, what you believe in, you have very similar core values. I believe in strength of community. I believe in contribution. I believe in stepping up and being someone of good character. I believe in standing by my word. I am that person. And I do it with a strength of will and a strength of heart that no one in their right mind can deny. How you two experience yourselves individually are completely different. I get locked up in my head and like, well, my heart always hurts. And I don't know what I'm doing with your energy sometimes. Sometimes I just want to push you away. And there's other times I want to pull you towards me and just love on you. As individuals, you probably both feel really, really shaky. At least when it comes how your two energies connect and collide. But in the real world, you two are phenomenal. Rock stars. Really strong examples in your community of what loyalty and dedication and hard work look like. I'm guessing you both kind of suffer from these ideas of what you really think about yourself and what you're, really worth and how strong you really are. But where it counts, actually, you're both very dedicated, strong-willed people. Now, the Ace of Cups. Could you two, in theory, refresh it? Could the two of you point your energies elsewhere? Yes. Yeah. But you both seem to suffer a little bit from perception issues. This person has a hard time discerning pride. Willpower, yeah, they got that, but pride. Is it better to push this away or embrace it? I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to be very strong in what I do. I need to enforce it. I have to enforce it. But do I push Gemini away or pull them towards me? And they're like, I can't get out of my head. They can't get out of their spirit that you can't get out of your head. Let's get some advice, please. I need some. You two need some advice. We need some advice. Let's get some advice, please. Queen of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Somebody's got to put something on the line, but mean it, you know. That's all. I say that's all. It's somebody's got to put themselves on the line, but in a substantial way. With Ace of Pentacles, that's really real. Yeah, Queen of Wands, King of Pentacles, and Ace of Pentacles lodged comfortably between them. Offer something of substance. Put themselves in a line in a realistic way. It's actually quite beautiful. The Chariot, the Emperor, Seven of Cups. If we choose to move forward, we have to do so from a dedicated space of being open and knowing we're open. Okay? The Chariot, the Emperor, the Seven of Cups. If you're going to be open, be open. Declare it, feel it, be in tune with it, don't reject it. Okay? The both of you. Make it real. Be open to the feeling and own it. The Emperor, Chariot. I mean, that's a lot of declaration, a lot of strength of will, a lot of spirit to show up and be declarative. I'm going to show up and mean it. I'm moving forward. I want to. This is what I've been thinking. This is what I've been feeling. Which I know it looks so much easier said than done, but gosh, I know you two are soul bonded. It's kind of like, duh. Can I get more insight on this death? Scorpio. I just know that. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I don't. I saw death, and then before I said Scorpio, King of Cups. Six of Wands. Yeah, this person's got pride. Pride that crosses their heart. Is something that they've been working on and trying to transform through. It's like they do believe in the strength of the power of love. But then it's like, how do I use that? Is it strength of love to push this away, or is it strength of love to pull this towards me? And they kind of get caught in the crosshairs of their own sense of intensity and pride. So yeah, you have to excuse me, but I immediately called out Scorpio on that. You know, the bigger the heart, the bigger the fall. And they recognize in some way the connection. Yeah, it's like it hurts. I have a lot of pain in my heart, but gosh, I have a lot of love for this too. What does that mean? What does that say about me? What's my problem? Yeah, this person's pride gets wrapped up into their heart a great deal. The kind of way you get locked into your head to the point of feeling seized up. They get locked in their heart space. I want to know more who this person is. So you both have things to work through. But the advice here stands, put the offer on the table. And if somebody makes the declarative to come forward, they got to stand behind what they feel. And that's it, really. It looks so easy. Goodness me. You know exactly who I'm talking about. We know exactly who we're talking about here today. Yeah. You two go way back. You have an awareness of what their weakness is, and you have an awareness very much of what your weakness is. But in terms of quality, way of life, oh my goodness. Neither one of you is big on showing weaknesses, are you? I'm calling that too. Doesn't have to be Scorpio, I'm not going to lie. That's the whiff. It's more than a whiff, buddy. That was a strong gust of wind. I was like, oh, that's got Scorpio written all over it. It doesn't have to be. That's just, I'm not going to lie. It's there. I mean, but yeah, they might just have some very strong placements in their chart too. But no, the transformation, disentangling emotionality from pride and how to represent that best and what does that even mean. I do know this. They have to know that they're loved in some way in order to express themselves. The mask, yeah, I know it. I know it. Imprisonment. And where's the mask? Okay, someone's always wearing a mask. Mature woman, imprisonment. Someone feels trapped. Someone feels trapped. But they don't know how to express that. Always wearing the mask. They don't want to show that. They don't want to show that they're trapped or trapped in their head or trapped in their heart. I think that applies a little bit to the both of you. 46 and 29. But yeah, it's that was really strong advice. It looks so simple though. Isn't that the kind of frustrating advice? It's like, put it on the line, make it real or go home, right? If you move towards it, the both of you, open up towards it and claim it. The Emperor is very claiming. This is me, this is where I stand. I already know it's a soul bond, you don't have to tell me that. But then I just needed to see a little bit more about this person. They struggle between what they feel and the pride of it. Yeah, and I get that. As a Scorpio, the strength of emotional conviction can be quite high, which puts you in a position of pride. I own this feeling and I don't take it back, you. But then that makes the complexity of emotional disentanglement that much harder. Because you're aware of how another person affects you. You are aware of aches and pains and difficulties, but also the strength of one's heart for someone else. Anyway, etc. I think you got it. Right? Yours had layers today. Depths. There it is. I was like, okay, what we gonna do? All right. There's the envelope, that indication of proper communication, full-bodied, sexy communication. It's got the little heart on it. So that's a full letter. Then we have the letters H, I, A, Z, Gemini. I hope this helped you. Okay. I want to see you push against those thoughts, push against that damn devil. Say, I do know my mind. Very well. Actually, I don't get this kind of stuff done by not knowing my mind. Thank you. Right? Challenge that devil. He needs to be pushed on bad. This person, they got their own work to do in terms of sorting out healthy pride versus toxic pride. Healthy strength of heart versus not healthy strength of heart. They struggle with that. I hope this helps you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Libra, welcome to your Sunday check-in. Excuse me. What's going on, please? Show me Libra and their person. Show me Libra and their person. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but as I explained in the intro, reverse energies, as you see fit. The Sun. Queen of Pentacles. The Hermit. Well, don't you look comfy, cozy, happy, and secure? I love that for you. Two of Pentacles, King of Swords, Six of Swords, someone else, not so much. Very different. Very, very, very different. Let's keep going. King of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, the High Priestess. Like I said, not as secure. Okay. Overview, Two of Wands. You're looking at stuff. You're making decisions. You try to keep them in the present, which is lovely. So Two of Wands very much strongly speaks to staying in the present. Yeah, sometimes there is a little bit of a lull, waiting period in between thoughts and actions, but for the most part, it's present, it's focused, it's in the here and now. Good job. I like it when people show me that. I'm keeping my activities in the present. I'm staying focused in the present. Good. A lot of good decisions are made right here. It gives us a clear sense of direction, left, right, A, B, you know? Keeping it in the moment. The Sun, Queen of Pentacles, the Hermit. That is gorgeous. Oh, can we all just take a minute to appreciate that? That's just so warm. And it's so loving, and it's so nurturing, and it's so self-caring. And that comes through wisdom, you know, experience, the Hermit. It's knowing when and where and how to go within and seek your self-worth instead of waiting for it to arrive to you in life, because guess what? That rarely happens. No, it takes a certain sense of advocacy in order to understand what's right for you. And that's walking the path. It takes time, wisdom, experience, learning, healing, insight to understand, oh, I know what quality of life is. And therefore my decisions reflect in that every day, or I try to every day. Because I want to add to my quality of life, not take away from it. I kind of insist on living under the sun. That's my thing. I just like to be happy. I don't know. Call me crazy. I just, I kind of insist that I make good decisions about quality of life, way of life. And then I'm pretty happy. I'm a pretty happy Libra. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I am saying I've learned to make good decisions for myself over the years. And as a result, more or less, I can say I'm pretty freaking happy. You know? There you go. Keeping your decisions based on what's right for you and good for you and healthy and happy for you in the present can lead to a stable future. Good job. Well done. Over here, though, I got someone struggling. Okay? They're not presenting to me as well together as you are. And it's not a competition, it's just the contrast is obvious. Two of Pentacles, King of Swords, and the Six of Swords. This person's like, I gotta figure out. I gotta go. They're like, you make it look so easy. And it's not that it was easy. It's just you had to learn to do this. A hermit. Again, this is not, when you're born, you're not given this kind of instruction manual. Okay? You had to figure this out. To each their own. We all have a process in life to figure things out. On our terms, ideally, and yes, we'll have influences, but at the end of the day, happiness is going to be a self-owned concept. Okay? Self-advocacy, as I said. Over here, they're like, I don't have any of that crap sorted. Two of Pentacles, King of Swords, Six of Swords, but they want to. But they are also asking for space. And you are giving them that space. I don't know who this is to you. It's not exactly hitting notes of intimacy, but it could do. You look so secure. And people who are that secure, it's not a challenge, so don't take it as one. You're just the Libra I'm looking at, you're literally secure. When you're this secure, you can show me who you are independently without necessarily being attached to someone romantically. But you still could be, yeah. So whatever this is, I don't know, but you're like, no, I understand, you need to go. Find your thing, man. Go find your thing. Go do your thing. That's what you need to do. I did my stuff my way, and it works for me. But you got to figure out what works for you. And they do. This is where they need to show self-advocacy. Okay? Figuring out their pathway. Now, if it is intimate, my only hesitation is that when somebody says I need to go find myself, that's not a part-time break. That is someone who is clearly not sure, and we don't want to keep that going or lingering because that it will end up as a time waster. Okay, people who don't already know themselves when they enter a relationship will never. They just won't. They won't. It becomes a complacency thing, and they stop challenging themselves to discover who they are because now they got someone to take care of them or whatever. So I'm not necessarily convinced that's the situation, but I can see where this energy here looks like on the initial read. I need to go find myself because I don't know what I'm doing. So if it's the intimate connection, please keep that in mind. That will equal a waste of time. We don't want that. Okay? Well, in that case, we still want to gently let them go. It's like, you go discover yourself on your time. I wish you the best of luck. Myself, I'm pretty well situated. But no, going back to my initial assessment, no, this doesn't look intimate to me. It looks like something that you would support someone whom you care about, and their absence is showing up as a marked event on your timeline. Okay. Maybe there's something that they've been meaning to do, that you've been supporting them to do. They're looking at what you're doing, but they can't replicate it. Obviously, it's not their process. You figured out happiness, they haven't. You figured out your path, they haven't. And it's kind of like, I don't know how to do that. Yeah, no, it's not theirs. They got to discover it for themselves. So that part I don't disagree with. King of Swords, Six of Swords. And I see you letting them go. King of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, the High Priestess. And while in many respects it kind of sucks, you having to say goodbye to them, you're also saying, I know or I feel that it's in their best interest to go. This may not be goodbye forever, but it's goodbye for now. I wish you luck. I'm sorry things didn't work out here. And it's kind of taken with that good grace that is the King of Pentacles, but it's like you need to find your own way. You need to find your own path. You need to make your own investments. You need to find your own future. You need to find your own sense of self here. Because I got it figured out. I hope that you do. I feel that you will with the High Priestess there. And I'm glad, because it also means they're listening to themselves too. Them sticking around and trying to follow your example is not helping them. It's not their path once more. They can't take on the same level of knowledge that you've incorporated. They can't take on the same level of experience that you've had. They just can't. They're not supposed to. We're not copy-pastes of each other. We're not supposed to be. As much as Instagram and TikTok would have us believe otherwise, we're actually not all trying to trend. You know, like I said, it's some of us are originals. Are you really supposed to be? We'll have a lot of commonalities. We'll have a lot of shared interests. We'll have a lot of similarities, stories, but no two people are exactly the same. So King of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, the High Priestess. Yeah, they feel it's something they need to do. You feel it too. They got to go find their worth, man. They got to go find the thing. They got to go find their path. They got to figure out what it is that makes them worthy of themselves. You know what I mean? Self-worth is learned. It's not inherent. It really isn't. I mean, for those people in life who are like, they hit the jackpot on self-esteem at birth, good for them. That's not most people. Most people need time to figure out what their worth is. But yeah, no, I see you gently parting ways with them. You do wish them luck. You know, you don't contest it. You're very patient, you're very understanding of this person. Two of Cups. The Knights of Pentacles, the Three of Wands. Yeah, see, it's not a permanent goodbye. It's like it's a goodbye for now, or it's a temporary goodbye. And again, Two of Cups is still not telling me it's intimate. This is someone whom you have a bond with. You care about them, but you also understand they got to go their own way. And the Knights of Pentacles, Three of Wands. It's going to take a time. That's quite the journey. But here's the thing: that's not waiting. That's active participation. So that's Knight of Pentacles, Three of Wands. That's going to be a slow, steady, unfolding path for somebody. You know this. You also saying, yeah, bye for now. I'll see you later. Perhaps on a distant shore. I probably won't recognize you by the time you return, but that's good. That means you've changed or you've been influenced. But yeah, it's, again, wishing them well. It looks temporary. But they got to go. The old, in British literature, another way to express this was, I had to go find my fortune. It wasn't just about money. It was finding oneself, Go seek my fortune or go make my mark. Things like that, okay? And the Sun. Yeah, see, you already got your happiness, honey. Look at that. And you want them to find theirs too. That's beautiful. Okay. That's lovely. I'm glad that you were supportive, knowledgeable, insightful. You've been there. You've done that. You get it. You get it. Sudden wealth. Sudden wealth. I don't think we're looking at sudden wealth here, but again, it's going back to that sense of self-worth and finding one's worth, finding one's sense of priority, work, pathway, what I'm doing in this life. I can't seek that here. I got to seek it elsewhere. Okay. Storm clouds. Tensions were building. Perhaps someone had some sudden insight about the swiftness of change, the turning of the seasons, and how, life can get unexpectedly turbulent, but I'm glad that they had the insight and realization. I'm glad they did. It gives them the opportunity to find themselves, if you will. Okay. Or perhaps it was you. You might have given them that swift, powerful, storm-like energy. Hey, it's time to change. Hey, it's time to ride the lightning. Hey, storms aren't a bad thing. It's understanding adversity or being part of it or being part of storms that help you understand who you are. That kind of thing. We have the letters T, J, Y. We have the music note. For some of you, music, you take it to a very deep place, profession, hobby, or it's the element in your life that allows you to tune, kind of like how I tuned to pop rocks. Like I said in the intro. But no, keep on doing that. That's always a good thing. Always in my book. All right, Libra, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Taurus, welcome to your Sunday check-in. What's going on? Show me, Taurus. Show me, Taurus, in their person. Happy birthday. I remembered. What's going on? Show me, Taurus, in their person. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but as I explained in the intro, reverse those energies as you see fit. The Moon. Ace of Wands, Three of Wands. What you doing? Huh? Leave me alone. Okay. Actually, no, not okay. I have a job to do. Page of Pentacles, Six of Swords, the Two of Swords. Oh. I mean, well, if it helps you, they're conflicted too. Okay. Oh, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, the Three of Cups. Overview, Nine of Wands. It gets so hard. You're showing me frustration and anger, and that I need to keep this away from me. I need to block it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. And what is it you're trying not to think about? Well, communication for one. Eight of Wands, Three of Wands. You have this kind of background noise here with the moon. I'm not trying to acknowledge that. I'm not going to acknowledge that. And it's like, well, what is it? I'm kind of waiting on communication. Okay? No, I'm not. I said, your resistance, you push back on that really hard. You're like, nope, 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 nope. Nine of Wands, nope. Taurus can nope as the day is long. Nope. No, I'm not. Nine of Wands. But underneath the moon, your secret is, okay, I'm waiting on communication. Hey man, I just work here, okay? Like, if anybody's mad, it's either not true, in which case you should check your other placements, or it is true and you wish it wasn't, okay? Because that's where the agitation is for you right now. No, I reject that. I reject that premise. And yet, it's there. Okay, like I said, they're showing me conflict too. It's not just you. Page of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Two of Swords. They're like, I made the decision to move away from this, and sometimes I question that decision. So that person is showing me mental dissatisfaction with the decision that's made. Not necessarily, I want to talk to Taurus, but I don't want to admit that. I'm waiting on Taurus. I don't want to admit that. They're not showing me that. They're just like, I made the decision to leave, but I often question it. Two of Swords. Okay. So, here we have conflict of decision. They're not totally in alignment with it, but it's already kind of after the fact. Okay. Six of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Three of Cups. Like I said, I just work here. Okay? I don't... I read what's here, not what isn't. So you go ahead and be mad at me. Fine. I don't care. They can go ahead and be mad at me too. I don't care. This is Sassy Scorpion Tarot. This is not the Passive Scorpion Tarot channel. It is what it is. You two want to talk to each other. You want to connect. You want to reconnect. I don't care. Just get on the same page. Be honest with yourself. That's it. When we get in alignment, things get so much easier. When we're in denial about it, and then we make things so much harder on ourselves, Just say it. Bring it into the world as truth. It doesn't mean you're overjoyed with it. It doesn't mean you have, but at least you can be like, well, that's out. That's better. That's all. So yeah, you have to, excuse me, but that's actually pretty manageable. Yeah, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Three. Sorry, not sorry. It's manageable. What is it, pride? I don't know. I am curious about why sometimes they backtrack on that decision. Don't get me wrong. They've already invested in the parting of ways. And it looks like such a small thing, but they often question it with the Two of Swords. Was that the right thing to do? And you're kind of showing me a begrudging sense of, well, them. But no, I don't want to talk to them. I don't want them to reach out. I'm not secretly hoping for that. No. So you're kind of maintaining their decision, but it's causing you conflict because it's not what you really believe in. Do you see what I'm saying? So usually we're still kind of playing off each other, but yeah, no, that's perfectly reasonable. And you both share it. Balance, being open towards each other, being open to reconnection specifically, you both share that. I'm hungry. So let's wrap this. Let's wrap this up. Oh, come on, man. I need a snack. I need my afternoon coffee. Come on. Let's wrap it, Taurus. Let's go. Come on. Come on. You know. I don't know. Can you two continue to maintain this distance? Absolutely. Absolutely. Tarot is the proof of choice, not the absence of it. Just because I see it strongly indicated as being a viable possibility between you two, doesn't mean either one of you have to choose it. You know? I just read what's here and not what isn't. Is the probability for reconnection quite high, realistically, if you're both open towards it? Yeah. Yeah, but in order to accept this, we'd have to do the opposite of this. Okay? That's all. Let's get some advice, please. Ace of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Six of Cups. Wait, let's give a think on that. Let's give a think on that. What can be put forward realistically? Ace of Pentacles, your master symbol. Four of Swords. Let's rest on this. Let's rest on this a little bit. Let's do some reflection. It's Six of Cups, of course. It's just hold on. Why wouldn't it be? You know? It's complicated enough, right? Six of Cups says of the past, there's that sweetness, the nostalgia, but above all, that unique bond that is built between two people over time. And it's mostly felt largely unspoken, so maybe it's time to speak to that a little more. You know? Reflect on this. What it is that you can give this realistically. It's a good representation of you, if anything at all. If you're done with it, you're done with it. Taurus, I'm looking at, you struggle to stop anticipating this energy, which suggests you're not done with it. And like I said, there's a similar, but it's of the mind. They question their decision. The Fool, Four of Wands, Ace of Swords. The relationship here is acknowledged as a truth. Some sort of relationship. A sense of willingness to be open towards it, to take a risk. You both have to be willing to take a risk. Oh. Acknowledge it. You'd have to be a fool for that person. Don't ask me who, you already know by now. You already know by now. I see it as beautiful, and you're like, it's a pain in my... That's what that is. Well, again, I'm not laughing at you. It's like... it's a very loving and caring pain in the ass, all right? And it's not a one-way street. No, not at all. What was it? What's her name? I'm so bad. Wait, I'm not a big fan to begin with. It's Sheryl Crow. What is it she said? You're my favorite mistake? Yeah, well, like that. You two might be each other's favorite mistake. So I don't know, hope all that bodes for you. I have not the clue. I'm just saying. Yeah, see, there it is. I know. That's where you are right now. I know it closed. But it could reopen. Oh. Choice. Oh, choice. I know, I see it there. It's on the underlying too. Three of Cups. It's a choice, guys. It's a choice. Choice in all things. And, of course, the relationship, once more, is how two people build into it. So if once upon a time you two built into it by taking a risk on each other, opening up towards each other, no matter how that fool was positioned, nonetheless, that's how you two would recognize it again, as taking a risk on each other. Okay? But choice. That once upon a time the door closed. I don't think it was locked. I don't think it was locked. No. But for those of you who are like, oh no, the door's locked. Okay, don't worry about it. It's not your reading. This is for the Taurus and that person who still have choices to make. They still feel it. They still connect to it. Okay. What are our thoughts here? Yeah, we've had some thoughts. And I continue to have some thoughts on this subject. And here we have the concept of the artist and the muse and who we reflect upon. It's of the past, and we can kind of see their face. We see their image. We understand how it affects us, but what do we make of it? Do we continue to draw it? Or try to let it fade from memory? Thoughts, number 16. A journey. Could be a journey. There's that sense of the Fool's journey right there. Or you're done taking that journey. You know? Who's to say? Not the tarot lady. I'm afraid to contact you. You take it up with your messengers, honey. I just read the cards. Okay? That's all I do. That's all I do. I mean, that's not all I do, but that's, you know. That's why we're here. Sometimes I'm in that blessed position of telling people what they want to hear, and it's not because it's bullshit, because it's what's here. And then I'm also in that unfortunate position, and this is the downside to the job, of telling people they don't want to hear, because the ego gets in the way and other bullshit and memories and frustrations that were never resolved, anger and resentment, bitterness and all that other crap. Okay? I get that. That's part of the gig too. Okay? But if it hits, it hits. If it don't, it don't. Someone's either going to open up or they're not. We both have to choose to be open. You took a journey with this person once upon a time. You took a risk on each other once upon a time. The same stands. Okay. S-U-T-W. That's it? I feel like we need more. Don't get me wrong. I love the letters. But I feel like we should have some more things. We have the Medallion of Scorpio. And it might have some very strong Scorpio in your chart. It could be connecting to, or the seasons might be important to you. And then we have K. I never know sometimes what my tongue's going to catch on. K-P-X. And then we have the stars, the carpet of stars specifically. Been getting an increase of this one lately. At some point, your twos, hopes, desires, wishes, wants, dreams connected in a very similar way. There was overlap, where you kind of felt the stars lighting up. And it might still do. Might still be the case. I clearly can't rule it out. And neither can the Taurus I'm looking at. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Virgo, welcome to your Sunday check-in. What's going on for Virgo? Oh, you just hold on, you. What's going on for Virgo and their person? What's going on, please, for Virgo? Yeah. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but as I say in the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. Okay. Four of Wands, Six of Pentacles, and the Moon. Yeah, you're not the only one. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor, Three of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. Seven of Pentacles, the Star, the Nine of Swords. Overview, the Three of Swords. I say that you got pain in your heart. I know, I say that you've been hurt. It feels like you've been deeply rejected. Four of Wands, Six of Pentacles, the Moon. Now, Taurus showed me some Moon energy too. It's in a different context. Yours is running a bit deeper. But this is something you're going to need to work through. It's hard for you to look at this. It is. It's hard for you to look at. I understand. There's some sort of relationship here that for a long time you kind of told yourself, it balances, it balances, it balances, it balances. But deep down, way down inside, you're afraid that it doesn't. And that's been hard for you to look at. You know the end result of it. As Three of Swords is that you hurt. You feel like in some way you're rejected in this relationship. But you've kind of found yourself in this situation where you don't want to dig too deeply into what that means. You're not wrong. You're not. That's why I hesitated so much on their energy. I can kind of see why. You feel rejected, but at the same time, you don't want to look at it too deeply. You really, I'm not trying to be mean, honey, but you really want to see this relationship as balanced. It's like I desperately need to believe that, even though it hurts. Because some part of you feels like it's being rejected. Don't you feel that? That's if you do. If you're not that Virgo, don't worry about it. Check the placements. This is for the Virgo. Your heart, you feel like in some way you're not welcome in this relationship. Even while you want it to be balanced. Okay. Over here, I can kind of see why. Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor, Three of Pentacles, the passage of time. This person approaches this relationship, which should be intimate. You say fair, but still intimate. Okay. As a friend. A kind of authoritative friend. You know, we don't... If you're going to be an emperor, you need an empress. But this feels like a business partnership. Someone who has a lot to say, but minimal output. Minimal contributive effort. And that's hard. I can see why part of you feels rejected. Because in a way, someone shows up as giving their all, but giving very little. So long as I have my say, I'm happy. Or so long as I have my influence, I'm content. Or I feel like I fulfilled my role as emperor. You know, it's like it's important to me to be perceived as having done my bit. Okay? But it's still like it's a very official looking friendship. You know? This is what I have to offer officially. And this is something that's been tempered over time with Wheel of Fortune. It's like, from their point of view, whatever this is best approached that way. That's their conclusion. You know? It's almost like they're kind of proud that they figured out their role. Disagree. It doesn't mean it's malicious. But for something that's claiming an intimate partnership with you, I don't know that I'd be so proud of that. I'm like the best friend Virgo ever had. See? I said I was going to show up at this day and time, and I did. It's like they're proud. They nailed it down. So that's... This might have been a great partnership in work. Or friendship. But no, not... I can see where a part of you feels rejected, yeah. Yeah, the intimate part. And I can kind of see why you got away with telling yourself this half lies, because technically things do balance. I know you do your part, and they're very prideful of their Three of Pentacles. But there's the other half you're not addressing. Seven of Pentacles, the Star, Nine of Swords. There's a lot of stress here, and I don't blame you. Is this as good as it gets? Is it always going to be like this? I thought personally we had more to reach for or aim for. I thought this was going to be a long-term thing of desire, hope, and availability to something more. But it seems like it's stopping here, and it freaks you out. It freaks you both out in a way. Nine of Swords, they may not show it. But in a way, it's both of in your spirits. Is this as good as it gets? I don't want to think about it. Okay. I can tell that once upon a time you two reached for something more. Something higher than yourselves. And you were both on the same page of that vision. And it took time to build into. But it also took time for them to understand their end role here. How it actually played out. It wasn't until you two were on the path that they understood the limitation of their role, rather how they perceive it and how you would like to perceive it, but this is how it really is. What happens after this, I don't know. I don't care for it, because the attitude here suggests I don't need to change. I'm very comfortable in this, but that's not an absolute. It's hard to tell because neither one of you is fully addressing this. And so long as you continue to not address it, they have no motivation or need to change either. They look quite comfortable here. Like I said, proud of their Three of Pentacles. It's like I got this relationship thing down after all these years. I know exactly what to give to it when, and we're good. Cross that off the list. So neither one of you is wrong. It's just this not being addressed isn't helping. Okay. So yeah, yours is still different from Taurus, but just in case if you have Taurus in your chart, perhaps check theirs out. But this one's totally different. It's a different gig, completely different. Death, Six of Swords, Three of Swords. You don't think it's going to change. We're afraid that this feeling of rejection you have isn't going to change. And that's something there under the moon. Like they've given up, but still show up. Thing is the both of you are adverse to tension. Very adverse to tension. I always tell people, you know, when it comes to, excuse me, when it comes to argument, you have to know it's worth your time, energy, and effort. In other words, you get to choose your own level of participation, always. But Knights of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Five of Wands, it's much easier, it seems. And this is built into over time to try to smooth things over as quickly as possible. Whenever problems arise, it's like we're adverse to fights, tensions. We want to just kind of wave the white flag on that sooner rather than later. And this was built up over time. It's just easier. It's just easier. Okay, that didn't mean it was correct. Sometimes two people need to understand each other. And that means sometimes the energies get real and confrontational. There's people who just fight endlessly with their person and that's all they do. I don't envy them. And there's people who they look like they're so sweet and kind and considerate to each other and they're miserable because they don't know how to work through the natural tensions and angers that arise with just being alive as one person, never mind when you're connected to someone else. And there's other people who just live for it. And that's unhealthy too. But there needs to be a happy medium. It's like, I'm unhappy and I'm keeping things to myself that make me so uncomfortable about our relationship and how much pain it causes me so I can spare you. Because something tells me I feel like it would be railroaded anyway. Like I'm not listened to, and that part of me feels rejected too. You know? You're all about smoothing things and squashing beefs as sooner rather than later, and a big part of that is just agreeing to you. I don't want to do that. It just makes me feel more rejected, not heard, and that I have to suppress things in order to make you feel like you were doing your job. It doesn't work. Conflict is real. We don't want to live for it. That would just be trauma. And we don't want to minimize it because then that means we're minimizing ourselves. We're not being heard. We're not expressing our needs. Or someone is violating our needs or not seeing to our needs when they agreed that they would. And that's a failing. And failings need to be addressed too. That's part of tension. And it needs to be addressed. We can't just smooth things over because we're practiced at it. That temporarily works. But all it does is create a long-term case of eggshells. And disappointment. And as you're experiencing rejection that you honestly, if you're being honest with yourself, feels like it's not going to change. What are we going to do about this? Because I can see that we're so adverse. We have such a strong silent reaction to adversity. It's actually creating more of it. So what do we do? Six of Pentacles. Knights of Cups. Open up. Open up and say the stuff that's uncomfortable. I'm not saying you have to bring down the house. Okay? What I am saying is that balance, Six of Pentacles. Choose some vulnerability. You can say it's them, it's them, it's them. The vulnerability also includes the stuff that makes you extremely uncomfortable, such as feeling rejected. That's also vulnerability. Hey, here, stop a second. I want to run this by you. I want you to know I don't think you mean to do this, but this is how you make me feel a lot. that's a form of vulnerability. It's one of the strongest things you can do. And if you want to create a more workable balance, that might be one of the first things you can do. And if they are at all worth their salt, at all, they will listen. Share and reciprocate. But yeah, God, I mean, let's stop letting things slide like we're not important. All right? We're important. It seems so simple, but look at how avoiding this has... Look at what it's cost you. So now, a lot of people struggle with vulnerability. These are my needs. This is how I'm feeling hurt, and this is how I'm feeling hurt by you. On the distant horizon. Ship. Number 3. Choice. Yeah, to open up is a choice. The sun, distant horizon, hope, sense of sun. Oh, excuse me. Sudden wealth. Okay. That's interesting. Sudden wealth and abundance. Distant horizon. I know you want more abundance in this, specifically happiness. And I know you want that for yourself and for this situation. Ask yourself if that can reasonably be found here. Reasonably be found here. You can see that 7 is the pathway here. That's stagnated. Stop sharing a vision. Can we get back on that path? On the distant horizon. Ask that reasonably, because I was like, I want to be happy. I do. So let me know if I can be happy with you. It looks so simple in the oracles, and yet there's a wealth of complexity behind it. Oh, let me do this. It's frustrating, because I can see where you lean towards optimism and balance, and I can see that these aren't bad things, Virgo. But how can it be optimistic and balanced if they're not giving you their best self? I mean, in the ways that count as a partner, not a person of authority. And you feel the need to hide the parts that hurts you. I don't like that. It's like waiting for happiness. Maybe one day we'll overflow with it again. It's the same as waiting. I didn't know how to comfort you. Okay. I'm starting to understand our connection. So someone here admits they don't always know how to be the most connected to you or the softest, and at some point they critically failed to be there for you in a way that suggested it's a little bit more on the side of intimate love, caring, and nurturing. Who knows? Who knows? Perhaps it was job loss, and this person acted more like a support coach as opposed to, say, a husband or a wife. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? There was a moment where you needed more. You didn't need a pep talk. You didn't need the... well, this is how I'm standing up for this. I'm doing my bit. You needed more of a partner, someone who could understand you, where you were coming from, what you were experiencing in that moment, and kind of foster an environment for vulnerability, nurture, love, and care. I feel like there's something on the timeline here where you experienced something rather difficult and they didn't show up appropriately for it. And maybe you never addressed it. Okay? I just need to power, we need to power through this, and that's not what was needed. C, C, V, Y, and then we have a little bicycle. Some of you, it's exercise, profession, hobby, I don't know, or a bicycle in some way is symbolic to you. Okay? All right, Virgo, honey, I know this one was, it actually, your baseline made perfect sense. But your advice do not match the oracles. I can see that you're hopeful and optimistic, and I want you to be. Okay, but this idea of waiting for things to just miraculously get happy or sunshiny, when in here your heart space says you know a particular situation or point of view isn't going to change. This needs to match more of your outer world. And it may not be in a situation where someone is more like a friend or a coach or a boss. I don't know. I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Capricorn, welcome to your Sunday check-in. Show me. Capricorn, what's going on, please? What's going on? Show me, Capricorn. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, but as I explained in the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. What's going on? What's going on? Two of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay. You're going to figure it out. Strength. Seven of Cups and the Moon. I'm getting really thick of that moon. Let me tell you what. I promise you I shuffle the hell out of these in between. Never mind what you see. All the earth signs have pulled it so far. What's going on with the earth? Okay. The Tower. Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. We're like, well, I don't know what their problem is, but I know what I'm doing, and I think that counts. You're right, it does. Okay. All right. Ten of Swords. Okay. Okie dokie artichokey. You know, I can see that something painful occurred. It went down. Given the Towers here, I don't always call a Ten of Swords an ending, nor should you. You'd be surprised how many people can live actively with pain in a situation or with somebody. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and call this one a kablooey. It was a blowout. It needed to, though. You're working through it. You're trying to find balance for yourself in present day. So you're already in this position. Okay, this thing, it hurt. It was extremely painful. It looks like you took ownership of it. So good job. In other words, you understood that this was no good for you. And I kind of see you examining that. Why? How did I allow this to happen? How did I participate? What can I learn from it? Because I don't want to do this again. And Page of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. Even now as we speak, you know, your kind of Capricorn drives are taking over. Everything's settling down. And you're like, okay, learn, work through this, create balance, recover. You're like, I will figure this out. You know, I'm not going to leave any stone unturned. There will be no room for mystery here. I want things as plain as day. I want to understand. You want to understand. You want to understand. And then also, like I said, get back to basics, get back to focus, get back to balance. Over here, Strength, Seven of Cups, the Moon. Wow. That's some emotional stubbornness. I refuse to understand my feelings or reveal them. Oh. In fact, I don't have any. Oh. That I'm aware of. Oh. You mean that you will allow yourself to be aware of. Okay, let me fix that sentence for you. The moon is an allowance. You know? You get to understand what you keep under there. Okay? Once you start to get the sneaking suspicion that you're hiding things, you're not being totally honest with yourself, you have a certain obligation to understand your moon stuff. They have a choice to understand their feelings and open up towards them, and they chose not to. Okay? Now, sometimes the moon is stepping into the unexpected. Cool. That happens. It's the unknown. The unknown is the unknown. But every now and again, I see someone safeguarding their fears or their deepest secrets, and that's what this person's doing. It's like I decline to have or express my feelings in this. In fact, I refuse to believe I have any at all. So there's that. Okay. And I'll tell you what part of that is, just to point out the obvious, you know. Because in understanding their feelings towards you, this connection, they'd also have to admit that they hurt you in some way. That's why. That's pride. Tower, Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. You know, at least for one side, your side, you let this go. I think you held on to this as long as you could. Until you understood that was a contradiction of self. Me holding on to this is counterproductive. This is not me. This is not who I am. This is not Capricorn. This is anti-security of self, me holding on to this. It harms me. So how can holding on to this situation possibly lend to my security? You're right, it doesn't. And you had a big old moment like that. Me holding on to this hurts me. You won't tell me why you did it, or even how you feel about it, or me. So, the least I can do is not cause any more harm to myself by holding on to this. Because you're right, holding on to this in some way represented anti-security, anti-self-worth. You're right. Sticking around, waiting for someone to reveal their feelings or what they really think on a subject or how they really feel about you or a situation. You're right, that's anti-security. That suggests that we cannot live well without someone else's opinion. You know, that's anti-worth, that's anti-value. It's kind of like, it seems to me if you wanted me to know, you would have told me by now. You're right. If you wanted to open up to me in terms of feelings, you would have done it by now. So it's almost like they're proud they kept it to themselves. So I gotta tell you, honey, I'm glad you cut this one loose. I don't even know what the hell this is. They approach it from anti-feelings, pride, not gonna happen. And in fact, that's the one thing I can hold on to, but also, P.S., I'm not holding on to anything. I don't have any feelings to reveal, so take that. And you're like, this is stupid. Literally, practically speaking, you're like, this is stupid. This person and their opinion of me does not define me or what it is I'm capable of doing. This is stupid. It doesn't even make sense. Why did I hold on to this? So to your credit, you're swinging hard in the other direction. It's like, no, I gotta learn from this. No, it doesn't happen again. So I am sorry. This is so frustrating, but to your full credit, you took care of the situation. You saw it for what it was, and you withdrew your time, energy, and effort. And so this is anti-self-worth. I can't believe I held on to this. I helped cause my own pain here by holding on to it. For what? Their good opinion? They insist they don't have any. Why did I hang out? Why did I hold on to them? All that's going to fall into place for you. And like I said, recreate balance for you once more. You know, I was like, I'm glad I kept that part to myself, but also I didn't have anything to keep to myself. Okay, then you go on then. You're so badass, withholding your emotions and denying them. Good luck with that. But like I said, if they were in that position of authentically opening up to how they felt, they'd have to recognize that they hurt you. And they ain't having that, right? Because that would mean they did something wrong. That would affect the pride of their ego. But you're right, it's non-productive. This is a very earthian reaction. This is non-productive. Why did I build into this? This was a bad investment. I got you. You took care of business, okay? So give yourself that credit. And I completely agree with you. Own this decision. Learn from it. That way you won't replicate it, okay? The World, 4 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. There it is again. Ew. We had to close this out. You were very unhappy. It was very unhappy. It's exactly what it looks like. That's my impression as well. That sense of, I'm asking for more. Give me a reason to justify my holding on to you or building into you. Why can't you give me that? Because there's nothing to feel. I don't feel anything towards you. Lie. But that's what I say about denial. It doesn't have a postcode. Good luck sending that person a letter or any sort of communication. If somebody doesn't want to be found, they won't. The world, I mean, I'm glad you cycled that out. But I'm sorry that you were in that position of having to ask for more. That's what made you miserable, and that's why it felt like it was counterproductive, because it was. That's why it felt like anti-worth, because it was. You know? If I have to beg you for your attention, if I have to beg you for your affections, fuck your affections. You should know how you feel. Feelings are not like a carrot and stick type situation. They shouldn't be. You know? If you can't give of your own free will, who's to say you have one? One that you acknowledge anyway. Yeah. Four of Wands, the Emperor, the Chariot. There was a rush of energy that I want this, I'm stepping into this, but we're also like, it was coming from a place of ego. Five of Swords, Six of Wands. Really strong misplaced. It's kind of like saying, I know what I'm doing, I'm rushing towards this, but it was coming from a misplaced sense of pride or ego. So yes, this person had feeling. No, they would not allow themselves to admit it. Was that rush coming from a real place? Absolutely. And it kills them to admit it. Not your problem. Okay. Yeah, for those of you who need confirmation that you did the right thing, you did the right thing. Yeah, despair. I can see where it hurts you. Yes, absolutely. Like all that for nothing. Gift, you weren't asking for a lot. There it is again, the outstretched hand. Something. Give me something, please. You didn't receive it in equal. I think we got it. 32, 17, and you decided to get out of the damn maze. The land of confusion. You know what? You don't know what you're doing, and I'm spending my time chasing you in a maze where somebody doesn't know what they're doing. You're not a good leader. You don't know what you're doing. You have no direction. You have no aim. Why am I following you? Yeah. It's like that. We have the letters E, M. You know, you can't help but notice that spells me. It's all about me. Or my ego, or something like that. Yeah. We have the medallion of Aquarius, you know. Could have some very strong Aquarius in your chart. Could be connecting to it. The season might be important to you. We have the music note. Some of you tune through music. Good. Otherwise, it's like a profession or hobby. But some of you help identify or get grounded, rather emotionally connected through music. Continue on in that practice. The dove is upside down. No peace on this situation. No peace and also no apology. No olive branch. Yeah, I see that. I'll tell you what, they hide those emotions indeed, like they have something to hide. You know what that brings to mind, speaking of music? What is that song? I don't remember the band. I'm horrible with names. Horrible with names, don't. But the song is Gives You Hell. When you see my face, I hope it gives you hell. When you walk my way, I hope it gives you hell. It's going to be one of those things. I'm not saying you are wishing upon... I didn't see that. No vengeful characteristics, no sense of a payback or being obsessed with it. But I am saying the way they lock down those emotions, but rush towards this out of a misplaced pride. I hope that when they think about you, reflect on you, or even pop an eye on you from time to time, Page of Swords, I hope it gives them hell. Because you don't know what you got till it's gone. Gonna wish you had made yourself a little more emotionally available, you know what I mean? All right, Cappy, honey. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Scorpio, welcome to your Sunday check-in. Show me Scorpio. And their person. What's going on? Show me Scorpio and their person. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, right? But as I explained in the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. Four of Swords, Knights of Cups, Page of Cups. Okay. Eight of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Well, I'm glad you got some rest. Yes. Two of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the Empress. Oh, the Tower. Okay. Yeah, no wonder you're showing me like I'm quiet. I don't quite know what happened. Perhaps he will show me an advice, but you're like, hey man, some stuff went down. And I'm doing well. I'm recovering. But I'm tired. And that's a reasonable tired. It really is. Four Swords, Knight of Cups, the Page of Cups. You're like, I'm just resting my heart. I'm being quiet right now. And yeah, that's it. I'm just trying to get myself back in good order. And you're showing me that on the emotional level. So I know that you're tired in the heart. But you are resting. So I don't know what that Tower is. But you're like, it threw me off a little bit. It threw me off my game, or just rather specifically your emotional energies. Because again, it's like you're showing me something the equivalent of more or less like taking a nap, like I talked about at the intro. But it's after an occurrence. So I don't know what that Tower is to you. But you're like, I'm recovering. I'm being quiet. Okay. I'm keeping my feelings to myself. I'm regulating. I'm self-regulating. Gold star. So I'm not trying to make light of that Tower, but honestly, your recovery process is going quite well. Over here, like I said, I'm glad you're resting up because something's coming through. Eight of Wands, Queen of Cups, Knight of Wands. Somebody wants to talk to you. But no, it looks great. Their energies look great. I like it. It's coming from a very full heart. Knight of Wands. Ooh, there's some love in there. There's some passion in there. Ooh. But it looks like good conversation, and it means well, all right? Again, it's coming from the heart. It's expressing itself towards you sincerely, but with some heat. That's some good heat there. But I like it. It shares that frequency with you, in that sense of a softness, the intuitive process, feeling one's feelings. It's lovely. And it's coming through in words. Nice of Wands. The energy's fresh. It's nice. It's pleasant. Yeah. It's nice. Two of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Empress. You two share some qualities, okay, in that respect of nurturing, caring, loving, right? Sense of empowerment, yes. But like I said, that space of empowerment for you both, you share this principle, is investing in love and care. Nurturing, caring qualities. It's actually quite lovely. You both share this. I don't think this is a completely unknown person. It has a familiarity to it, but it's very comfortable. It's very comforting, this energy. All right? And you recognize it right away. It's like, oh, this is good. This is kind. Thank you. I needed this. Well, I had to take some, this is kind of like you. I had to take some time out. I had to do some rest, but I'm okay. Thank you. But there's real authentic love and feeling expressed in here that kind of goes beyond hey, Scorpio, just checking in. This goes beyond a little, hey, just thinking about you, hope you're okay. It's a little more than that. It's a lot more than that. There's a certain quality in here, a lot of appeal and depth, good feeling, positive feeling. It's very nurturing. And you feel comfortable responding to it, very much so. It may not start out a lot at first, but there's good quality in there, okay? I don't know why. You see that was shared between you two, so many lovely, positive, calming, nurturing, loving characteristics, but the energy is actually quite personal on this person's side. It's a space from the heart. It's a beautiful space for the heart. Like I said, just a touch of heat on it, which makes it a little bit more on the personal side. But how you two express is, oh, lovely, and oh, that's wonderful. Oh, and That's great. Oh, I hope you're okay. And what can I do? You see what I'm saying? It's quite nice. It seems to come in at just the right time, just when you needed it, right? Just when you were waking up from your nap. You're like, that's better. Things got really scary there for a second. They got a little crazy, but you know what? I recovered. I'm recovering. I'm good. I don't know. Let's get some advice. It looks. Do you see it? Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. That's the only thing that's a little disruptive, but you're already well on the way of handling it, processing it, recovering from it. Do you see the tone? In contrast, it's. I like the way you respond to this. It's very warm. It's very genuine. It's not over the top, though. For some of you, this is going to feel like a really good reconnection at just the right time. Like I said, this isn't like a completely unknown entity. Not at all. It's not some new person that comes breaking through. It doesn't... No. This isn't someone in some way you care about a great deal. And that you actually feel naturally inclined to nurture. And they you. It's lovely. Advice, please. Excuse me. The Sun, Queen of Cups, the Hanged Man. Oh, they took a second. You share a frequency with somebody. Queen of Cups, twice. With the Sun and the Hanged Man, there's a pause there. A pause before the entrance. And then perhaps a hesitation a little bit on your side, but you warm to it very quickly. You think about it. But it's like, oh, the Sun appeared. It's quite nice. I see it reflected in them. I see it reflected in you. They kind of took their time to shine their light onto you. The Sun, warmth, happiness, encouragement. And then you took some time to reflect it back on them. Again, the nurturing on this one's very high. The loving element is very high. That sense of welfare and interest is very high. Best interest at heart energy is very high. It's lovely. It's very lovely. Yeah, I told you share a frequency with this person. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Oh, gorgeous. Beautiful frequency. Open heart. And by that I mean very claiming of one's feelings. This is what I'm feeling. This is how I'm showing up. I'm expressing myself. How are you? Are you okay? Is there anything I can do? Love, support, nurturing. But there is, I admit, a bit of a delay on that sunshine. The warming element, but it applies to you both. And then you kind of hesitate a little bit, but not by a lot, in the return. But it's equal, it's fair, it's nice. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? No. The intuitive, both of you. The Knights of Cups. Will you shut up with the love? Oh, well, no. That's not what I meant. You know what I mean. It's just water everywhere. Could be connecting to fellow water sign, but there's that heart space. There it is. Yeah. There it is. You just need a little bit of rest. A little bit of relaxing. You know? Your heart needed some space to breathe, whatever that tower was. But this person completely 100% shows up as support. Love, I care about you. Are you okay? Is there anything I can do? You're like, that? Oh, I'm fine. You're like, that's another thing. How are you? Well, you look good. I mean, whatever. I don't know where it goes. I don't know. But I love the love. It's so easily connected to from the heart. And I love that. That's my favorite stuff right there, is when it's authentic, it's real, it's expressed, and there's just a little bit of hesitation. But the authenticity is real. The Hanged Man, why? I don't know. They were on pause for some reason initially in the communication, and then you kind of showed that pause as well. But it's not too egregious. Okay. Anyway, I don't know what else to do, honey. I don't want to keep digging. It's beautiful. You frequency with this person as much as you want. It's lovely. It's supportive. It's nurturing. It's calm. Very calm, but caring. Okay. I like it. By the way, this is the person that shows up at the right time. Okay? That tells me in some way they understood about your tower or your exhaustion or something. I don't know. Excuse me. Number 13, our power number specifically. Childlike wonder, imagination. Change. Anyway, I was going to say a transformation. There it is. A change. Something's moving in your direction. Yes. It's something you've wondered about, thought about, collected your thoughts about, fantasized about, maybe. Yeah. Or a sense of childlike wonder about the possibilities. It's like the wonder of it all. Contemplating from that space, this showing up at the time that it did. Apparently at just the right time. It represents some sort of marker for you that you can recognize as being change. Okay. 13, 9, what was that? It tried to pop out the main male. Could be that they are identified as the guy, the main guy, or it's you. I don't quite know. That tried to pop out there. Anyway. 13, 9. I really don't feel inclined towards the shoulda, coulda, woulda deck. It's actually a couple of decks, and that's pretty much the focus. Okay. We'll see if there's anything in here. There's no stress. What I think is interesting here on the pentacle, there's no stress on the mental, there's no stress on the spiritual. It's just a genuine, heartfelt, are you okay? How can I support you? How can I show you love, care, support, or nurturing? Please forgive yourself. That does speak to the heart, forgiveness, yes. Emotionality, being at peace. Please forgive yourself. Something someone would say to the other person. Maybe. I don't know. Happiness is not a betrayal of me. You will get through this. I want you to be happy. It's a sense of forgiveness here. I don't know what you went through, honey. I don't know if they were part of it or not. I just know that the way they show up, it shows up very correctly and very strongly. But there is some sort of recognition here of recovery, at least on your part. But you will get through this. A sense of forgiveness here, and it's not a crime to be happy. I want you to be happy. Something like that. Okay? That may or may not help you. I apologize. That's why I hesitate with these. Sometimes with the oracles, especially when I don't have a context of either old or new, it just kind of seamlessly picks up. Then things like this aren't exactly all that useful. Like I said, I didn't see much stress on the 3D world, the mental, or the spiritual. Your two heartbeats pick up very quickly, or easily, I should say, not quickly. It wasn't about speed, it was the ease. And the way your two feelings lended to each other with very little thought or effort. That was quite something. H, 2 O's, Q and P. We have 2 medallions here. Aquarius as well as Sagittarius. The keywords here being friendly and optimism. You might have any of these very strong placements in your chart, can be connecting to, or the seasons might be important to you. And then, didn't I see this for you last time? The crescent moon in reverse, not by the light of the moon. Under the new moon energy, in other words, when nothing's visible. Or, excuse me, sorry. As discussed, it's a little hard for me. It's okay. I'm fine. Or we don't follow the phases of the moon, something like that. But there's the idea of when the light is not as available, which is interesting because our full moon's coming up. I want to say it's the 12th. Check it out. It's easy to Google. But I believe our full moon is the 12th. It's coming up soon. So who knows? Perhaps at a time before that or time after that. Anyway, I hope this helped you, Scorpio honey. Take care. Be well. Pisces, welcome to your Sunday check-in. What's going on, please, for Pisces and their person? Show me Pisces and their person. What's going on? Show me Pisces. Like always, we're going to start with your side of the board, yeah? But as I explained in the intro, verse energies as you see fit. 9 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. I like that. That's nice. All right. 4 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. All right. Taking a break. I understand that. The Star, 10 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Aw. Beautiful. Overview, 7 of Wands. You're like, not right now, but I'm getting to it. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Right now you're showing me boundaries or just not yet. Right now there is a wall in place and you're honoring that wall. But you're on your way to fixing something as you understand is correct for you. I'm not telling you what to do. Tarot does not dictate action. You do. Tarot's a proof of choice, not the absence of it. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. But right now you're like, right now? No. Walls, boundaries. There's a reason though. There's something here that you are ironing out. Because you want to. 9 of Cups, though, that's wish fulfillment. You're not doing anything that you don't want to do, or that doesn't personally please you. 6 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. Right now, I see you building into this concept of balance and how can you get things to even out that you feel good about, possibly on your terms, but in the overall sense that I personally feel good about. So there you go. I see you maintaining core balances that are already in place. You're very familiar with them. But also, I see you working on something that you say, this makes sense to me. I hope it's good. I hope it's presentable because I like it. Good. So you're finding some sort of solution here that works for you. But again, once more, maintaining core balances. But until then, it's kind of like, walls, boundaries. I'm trying to do stuff right now. Over here, 4 Swords, 7 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Like I said, I understand that. It's like, I need a break. Okay, I've been building into my pathway a lot these days. It's just a certain sort of busyness, but it's steady, but it's busy. I just need a break. I just need a break. Like whoever this is saying they're having to pump more into their pathway, and that's fine, but they also need a break. 4 Swords. So they're showing me some rest, recovery, relaxation. The Star, 10 of Cups, Ace of Cups. Wow. The both of you have a mutual and or shared interest in developing into each other's, not just emotional harmony, but intimate emotional energies as well. We desire that. And things, ideally for you and them, are lining up in that way. We got some beautiful big picture concepts in there with the Star, 10 of Cups, Ace of Cups, both of you, even while they're resting from building into their pathway and you are kind of making sure that you feel good about yours. You both, like I said, have a mutual or shared interest to be emotionally invested in each other's lives in a long-term way. It's so interesting because you look like you're very preoccupied doing your thing, but I did see you working on a solution that makes sense to you. Them, I see them taking a break from whatever it is they've been working on. Maybe they needed it. I don't know. I'm sure you understand. The Star, 10 of Cups, like Ace of Cups, that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Like I said, we have a mutual and shared interest of emotional longevity. It's a deep desire on both sides. It's a goal on both sides. But it hits the heart space in such a way that suggests intimate. It's not, it's a little more than me just getting along with folks, family and friends. It means more to me than that, and it means more to them than that as well. What's interesting is that they seem to be doing their own thing, and you are too. You did show me not right now. You're working on stuff. and you want to make sure that your balances are in order, you feel good about them. But I did see you working on something specific. And you say that you want to be satisfied with your solution. Okay. At some point, they kind of get roped into that solution. Okay, I suppose so. But you're both hard workers. I know they're taking a break, but sometimes you just need to. But yeah, at some point, your solution involves roping them into this shared emotional experience that you say is so very important to you. And they recognize as being important to them. It's a very strong bond. And you two, like I said, are going to be mutually invested in finding a way of making sure that your better heart space and their better heart space fits into each other's lives in a long-term way. And that's lovely. That's definitely a shared emotional and spiritual goal. They're saying, not just yet. Call me curious. It's like, what does that mean? What does that mean, though, Pisces? I like how you I want to see at what point you kind of rope them into this vision, because they're already there with you spiritually and emotionally, but you seem to be so busy on your pathway and they're taking a break from theirs. Like what? So it's more than just when your two worlds collide. I mean, when do they merge into that solid, beautiful, emotional investment? To be clear, I have two heart spaces that very much want to get on the same page. Are you working on your 3D stuff? They too? Four of Swords, Rest, the Empress, King of Cups. Gosh, there it is. When the time is right. We heal with this person. Four of Swords, the Empress, King of Cups. The full heart space is there. That sense of importance and empowerment is there. But you both had healing to do. You had to work on your pathway stuff. They needed to work on their pathway stuff. But at some point you share common emotionality and then kind of reach for the stars together. It's quite beautiful. It's quite poetic. Yeah, commitment might be involved at some point. But let's get some... Okay. What point do your two storylines kind of merge, Pisces? That's what I want to know. Because I see the preoccupation on both sides. You got Queen of Wands, the Devil, the Moon. Oh, okay. 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 Someone's having to work on doing some uncomfortable purging. It looks terribly private and uncomfortable. Queen of Wands, the Devil, the Moon. That's you. I'm not like literally trying to point fingers. I'm saying that's your power card. Okay, that's your power card. The Moon. You're like, what? I was just out for a walk. Okay. Now, the Devil, Queen of Wands. Some of you are in the process now of having to purge things. Like, now is not the time. Let's explain that Seven of Wands, and you're insisting upon that. Because you got beautiful things that you're working through, working on, maintaining, but also preparing some sort of solution for. I saw that. But I didn't know it to the extent, if I was clarifying, oh boy, I bet I would have seen some stuff. You made it look so simple. But yeah, in a deeper context, we're still having to actively purge something that you keep to yourself because it makes you uncomfortable. It could be someone else's energy or situation that you're saying me merging my heart space with somebody, I have to intentionally put that off for right now. Oh my. Because this represents healing. Not healing, but total ownership of one's feelings and the importance of ourselves and another person, and understanding that and valuing it and loving it and being completely open to it. This suggests this is unhealthy, and I got to work through this or learn to let it go, or someone's having to learn to let me go or the situation go, and it's very uncomfortable while I get things square for myself. Okay. 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 That's one of the things you're working on, is a new beginning for yourself. That's part of your overall balance, and how you're showing a balance to yourself is a new beginning for you. But there's a very uncomfortable subject matter some of you are still dealing with. Before we can do that, that's one of the things you're working through right now. But there's something that still uncomfortably sits in your life, and we don't want it sitting there anymore. Is it having a hard time detaching from you? Situation, place, circumstance, or person? Okay. So then, by all means, exercise boundaries, but in more than one area. It's not just about you're not ready for this yet, but also what it is that you need to push back on. And it's this thing in your life that apparently still hasn't left. Okay. And it's not pleasant. But this is a very good goal. It's an admirable goal. Okay. I applaud you. And this is kind of the plan here. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, Roo. So it's like your two lives are going like this. When do they go like that? Okay. There's an expectation. You expect more from yourself, your life, your love, expectations. 28. Emotional loyalty. 18. Okay. You expect more love, more loyalty of love from someone very special or unique. Okay. You want their energy and just their energy, and to return it. Okay. I really don't want to do the shoulda, coulda, woulda cards. It's beautiful. What we hope very strongly, desirous of merging with at the emotional level. Right now they're resting or they're doing their thing. You're kind of balancing up with yourself and creating opportunities. But there's something here that you have to push back on. And in some ways come to terms with it, or get it out of your life, or detach from it. Seems to me we're past the point of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. All right, G and W. We have the medallion of Aquarius as well as Virgo. Keyword here being practical. You might have any of these very strong placements in your chart. Could be connecting to, or their seasons might be important to you. Pisces, honey, I do hope this helped you. I would love to have pressed the point today. This would have been a good one for in-depth, but that's not where we are. But regardless, I do hope it helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Cancer, welcome to your Sunday check-in. Show me Cancer and their person. Show me Cancer and their person. Yeah. What's up? We're going to start with your side of the board. Yeah. But as I say in the intro, reverse energies as you see fit. What's up? Six of Pentacles, the Empress, Strength. Like nothing. I'm just doing everything, but you're showing me strength to do everything, or rather put your best focus on your priorities. But it's very loving, it's very generous. Okay, anyway, let's put down the rest of your baseline. King of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, the High Priestess. Seven of Cups, Death, Ace of Wands. Okay, that's frustrating. Okay, all right. It looks like we're in the process of closing this out. You are carrying a lot. You're saying you choose to. You're saying it's your source of empowerment to do the best you can and everything that you were signed up towards. And this is a matter of pride to you. So I see you using strength appropriately here to do everything it is that you need to do that you associate with responsibility, okay? Balance, connectedness, keeping together, okay? And you're insisting on this. Like, I will not lapse or fail in my own sense of responsibility. I am the Empress. That role for me has not changed. You're like, that will not change. I don't care. You can show me all the doors closing out in the world. I will not lapse in these responsibilities because this is how I identify. I show up. I do my best. I do more than. Okay. Without false or fail. Strength. This is how I do it. This is how I do things. Nothing's going to change that. Okay. All right. I get that. I respect that. You deeply identify with your role. You're like, nothing's going to pry me from my responsibilities. I will provide. I will produce. This is what I do. Okay. But yes, indeed, something here is closing out. I have someone here who also represents that sense of self-worth, but all I can really see is an internal mechanism that says, I cannot feel how to give any more to this, and I don't want to. So they are showing up, they are contributing, but their heart's not in it. And it's almost like saying, I don't want to feel my feelings. I will make myself available to this. King of Pentacles, I have responsibilities too. But I don't want to bring my heart to the table anymore, or I don't want to put my heart on the line. I don't want to feel my feelings. And it's kind of silent after that, you know? They're not really showing or telling you how they feel, but they're like, I am showing up. Just like you. Okay? There's a sense of this is how I identify too. My self-worth is wrapped up into this too. I contribute as well. You can't say that I don't. So while it's kind of silent in terms of the emotionality, that blockage is there because they are resisting it. Like I said, they don't want to share that internal space. Okay? I said they don't want to force it. Okay. But yeah, it is blocked. It is blocked between yourself and them. The feeling. And it's over here too. Seven of Cups, Death, Ace of Wands. Energy is still being put into this, but the emotional exploration, being open, being vulnerable, sharing of feelings, no. Mm-mm. Whatever this is at the very beginning stages of closing out. Okay? For the both of you, it's showing up as emotions first. The physical world is still being maintained by one or both of you. You're both contributing this in some way. I don't care if you're 50 miles apart. Somehow you two are still contributing to the everyday life. But they're saying, you're not allowed in my inner world. And you're like, you know what? That's fine, because I'm going to be here doing what I do. What I do best. But yeah, there it is. There's the emotional block shut down. But some sort of energy is still being put into this. There's an intensity too. I would even say it's almost like a defiance. I do see that as largely coming from you. It's like you're showing up to do what you need to do, almost like out of defiance. It's like, fine, you want to shut me out? You want to tune me out? That's not going to stop me from being me. So some of you, I think, have some very strong fire in your chart, particularly Leo. I'm just pointing it out because it's coming through very naturally for the person I'm looking at. So if that helps you at all as a marker, let me know. But I'll tell you what, I kind of understand that defiance and that sense of doubling down when things get hard. It's like, you can't stop me from being me. Right? But for you, it comes out in that sense of empress and I provide. I will always balance things. This is a matter of strength. This is a matter of pride to me. So, like I said, it's coming in very sharply in that way. And this person's like, I do stuff too. I show up too, but not like that. Don't expect that from me right now, if ever. Okay. You're not in a place where you want to share emotionally or you feel inspired to, but you put a lot of strong energy, at least into the maintenance of this for now. And they themselves, what they're really feeling is really only known unto them. But I do see this at the beginning stages of shutting down, so I don't want that to freak you out, because this is either true for you or it's not. That's it. Is that me? Is that me? No, you would know, honey. Don't cause yourself unnecessary stress. People are like, I would never do that. It's not you. It's not yours. Just because it says Cancer, I'm saying, hi, Cancer. Welcome to your Sunday check-in. Does not mean it's yours. I promise you, if this was you, you'd know. Okay? All right. Advice. It's one of the weirdest comments I will ever receive. Where do you get off telling me what I will do? I'm not. I just report. But the collectives are vast. There's a lot of energetic influence. And for some people, this represents the past. You know what it feels like already. For others of you, it's a future that's yet to be. And for others of you, it's right here, right now. But I'll tell you what, if it's your future self, you wouldn't know it. Live life. Love your person. Love them hard. No? If the love is there, make good on it. Feel it. Express it. And like I said, it may not be yours. Let's get some advice, please, for this Cancer I'm looking at. I know. I told you it's at the beginning stages. Yeah. It is closing out. But I want you to know and take comfort that the Cancer I'm looking at, you're going to be more than fine. This is you taking care of business is like your middle name. Cancer taking care of business, whatever your last name is. I know, you know how to take care of things and make ends meet. That was never an issue for you. You're a good provider. You're solid. You're nurturing. You care. You are invested when people do well. There's a certain respect and dignity that surrounds your energy. It is, and I can see why you're taking it as a personal affront, that this person doesn't want to share their feelings with you or let you in on it, that you're going to take that as a personal affront. Yeah. It says a lot. I get it. It's non-cooperative. I see that. 3 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles, that is very much non-cooperative. It's not even friendship at some point, you know. It's non-cooperative. We're not on the same page. We don't have the same sense of shared interest anymore. But it goes much deeper than that. A lot deeper, obviously. But that's non-functioning. Non-functioning. I mean, a 3 of Pentacles with anybody shouldn't be that hard, right? Common ground, common interests. You two have grown apart, however you want to put it. I'm not trying to bundle this up into a cliche. I'm saying if 2 people wanted to make it work, they would. But when somebody or 2 people decide to be emotionally closed off, or they're reacting to someone being emotionally closed off. You closed off to me? Okay, that's fine. See, the best of my time, energy, attention, and efforts, you get none of that. Something like that. Okay. Devil. What's that? Ah. Okay. Two of Wands. There's a sense here of make up your mind. Make up your mind. You know what? Behavior is a language. So if somebody was like, I want to stay and show up to this and feel secure by it in the 3D, but I don't actually want to give to this emotionally, then you have every right to say, make a decision. You can't expect me to do all this, be awesome, and provide, and for you to not share with me intimately. I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm not trying to be a roommate. But you expecting me to wait while you make up your mind, I'll tell you what, I'll do it for you. I'm closing this out. And I know I'm going to be okay. Because I see the contributing, but you're still not on the same goals. Not at all. Nowhere near it. And it does not help me, and it does not help you that you can't see how they really feel because they're so shut off. So yeah, in that space of you waiting for someone to make up their mind, all you saw was characteristics of codependency or a false sense of notion and false sense of decision making about why one would stay. So yeah, in that space of someone, this is my rule about people who refuse to make decisions. Okay, then I will make one for you. You technically made it because indecision is still a choice. I'm just reflecting back to you the consequences of the inability to make a decision. So you still technically chose. I'm just pulling the trigger on it. But you can't have it both ways. You can't expect me to show up and contribute and you not share your feeling. Get a roommate. I don't know. I know that sounds harsh, but it's not. I'm looking at this. Consequences. I'm sorry. Consequences. I'm trying to find... I get that we can't always be in the space to share. You can't share all day, every day. You know what drives me crazy? I'm sorry, this is where I dip into the personal, because I want to show you in some small measurable ways about reality versus expectation. This is chronic and ongoing. I hope you understand that. This isn't just something you started experiencing Tuesday and you decided to divorce them on Wednesday or whatever the case is. It's not like that. I understand it's over. But let me show you how it's like... Managing expectations. I'm often in a position where I cannot be on my phone or receiving messages for hours at a time. I just can't. So it is very unreasonable for people to expect from me instant communication. It ain't gonna happen, boo-boo. I might get back to you in 5 minutes. I might get back to you in 5 days. The point is, manage your expectations. I made things clear. It is not a gauge about how I emotionally feel about you. It's what I'm literally available to do or not do. But there's some people who can and will insist on taking it personally. So this isn't something where it's like, oh, they've been a little bit shut down for these past couple of weeks and I just had it. You know, I just can't anymore with their emotional unavailability, even though I'm crying and panicking every 5 minutes. No, this is not like that. Okay, this is a problem. It's a problem. And then I see someone hanging out technically for 3D reasons, and that's also a problem. So I get it. I get it why you doubled down. On focusing on what matters, because this is a matter of pride to you. And it's like, see, this is what I can do when I believe in something, and you are no longer part of that. So just, again, manage expectations around this. I know it's just begun, and I am so sorry. But this, I was trying to find something about this, this person, and then I just couldn't. It's not really a decision, is it? You know? You're either there or you're not. You're either in it for the right reasons or you're not. You're either delaying an uncomfortable decision or you're not. You know, I know it's going to disrupt the foundation. I get it. This kind of stuff typically does. So 39 is community, 10 of Pentacles. It's in the reverse. Yeah. I know this seems to be anti-foundation, anti-stability, anti-community, anti-connectivity. But there are times when you must prune back your network or your resources. Because if you are maintaining an unstable element in what's supposed to be stable and healthy, you're still causing its destruction in some way. It's like, I don't want to disrupt the foundation. I don't want to disrupt our way of life. You already disrupted it. I'm just making it final. When we're together, people don't think we're together. I don't feel your feelings. Don't tell me about disrupting what's there. You've already disrupted it. And I don't know, the lack of ownership bothers me a lot. Like, just own it, man. Just own it. Just own it. Just freaking own it. The Book of Wisdom, I know you know better. 26. Hermit's energy, but the Book of Wisdom. I know you're experiencing. You've experienced lack of emotional availability before, where you got stuck in this role of waiting and providership, and you said you would never do that again? That's very specific. Extremely. You said you would the days of waiting for someone to make up their mind, when it's clearly already made up, you would never do this again. This is based on experience. No wonder you're so adamant. Okay. 3926. Oh, what's that? Who are you? Who are you? Where'd you come from? The Lovers, perhaps someone here had a choice. I'm not saying that today about love interests or their competition, and someone's emotionally shut down because someone else won their heart. I don't think that's it. There's an element here, however, that is literally hitting me for the first time in this reading. I see you reinforce with some pride what it is you have in place and maintain it. You do carry a lot. And it's true enough, fair enough. The world is here twice. As one door closes, another opens. Absolutely. Based on wisdom and experience, another door will open in time. You very strongly believe this. You're in tune with it. But Lovers, since some way that influences you or has the potential to influence you in future. Number 15. Very strong connection. Something that is very emotionally present. This guy, the Harvest. You're saying whatever this is, yes, it's over. It's been harvested. It's been cut down. The strength of the connection, yes. But, you're also saying that you know. You know. You know life doesn't stop here. Another door will open. I just, that caught my attention. The mature man, Hierophant. This is based on wisdom and experience. Whatever this is has been harvested, but you're also saying it's not the end of the world. This is based on experience. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta wrap this one. I wish I could spend more time with it. That Lovers hit so weird in my mind's eye. Initially, I even said, "Who's that?" And then you're like, "No, no, this thing's over. It's not the strong connection I had thought it was at all." I understand. I can see why you conclude that it's not. This guy associated with harvest, fall, and then, of course, Scorpio's instrument. Give your love energies time. Something there's changing or transforming. You might have some interesting Scorpio in your chart. It's not a point. It's I gotta wrap this one, Cancer. I can't be here all day with you. It's fascinating. It is absolutely fascinating, but I can't be here with you all day, honey. I'd love to. F, J, 2 signs of Scorpio. Once more. One is anti-transformation. A situation will not change, while another one does change. Okay, so we have the snowflake time of winter, but then also the butterflies in reverse. There's a non-changing situation, and yet something else is changing and transforming as we speak. About the strength of connections, one's clearly closing out. I'm convinced one is yet to present itself, or it will in time, but not right away. Okay, anyway, moving on. Tree of Life, 10 of Pentacles. I hate that when I got an itch and I can't fucking scratch it. Because that's what it's like for me, like right now. I'd love to dig, honey. I love to dig. Love a good scratch. All right. And then we have the Tree of Life, the 10 of Pentacles, yeah? I know, I see that. But the whole thing about stability, once more, is knowing when and where and how to prune things off, you know? Leaves will drop of their own accord. Branches often fall. We think they're very sturdy, but sometimes they fall. And then every now and again, there's the unfortunate root. You got to root out the root in order to preserve the rest of the tree. And I am sorry, but I also think you're very much doing the right thing. Yes, absolutely. Cancer, honey, wrapping it up. Have to. I hope this helped you at the end of the day. I do. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.